I believe that the reason God created man was for management.
Really? I have never heard it put that way.
The first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself.
God will never allow growth where there is no management.
Wow, wow, wow.
So instead of praying for things from God, pray for the management ability.
Everything I tell you is true. Everything I open my mouth and I say is correct because heaven directs me on what to say. Eligwe, heaven will tell me and I will tell you it will come to pass in front of your eyes, not behind you. You will see it happening.
God will withhold things from you if you cannot manage them.
When you look at the facts that something around 1 million people perished as a result of the actions of the British and Russian and Nigerian federal governments.
Vis-a-vis what we see in Nigeria, which is truly not, it should not be surprising. Look, what's happening in Nigeria is barbarous. It's horrible. I mean, it's complete madness, yet it's not a priority. The United States unilaterally could do almost anything it needs to do. It would be a long-term effort, but it could be done. And the United States has the capability. All the elements of power, we have those.
So why not?
It's not a priority. That's the problem. We are committed elsewhere in the world. Black West Africa is not a priority.
Anybody who changes his principles depending on whom he is dealing, that is not a man who can lead a nation.
No way. When the time comes, it's okay. What stupid country is this? So when you see you try somebody's secret, when you like, you try a secret, when you like it's in public, what stupid country is that? What stupid country is that, I ask you? When you like, you try in secret, when you like, you try in private, they are killing my people. They are killing my people. They are killing they are killing my people. After killing my people, you tell me what to tell in secret? The person is mad. Completely mad. Tell Buhari, that's what I said. That he is mad. He cannot tell me. He cannot tell me. He's a madman. There's a contempt of court proceedings here. Contempt of court. They don't obey court order. They don't obey court order. You're telling me secret trial. Is the person mad?
I, Nnamdi Kanu, will sacrifice anything sacrificable to make sure that Biafra comes.
We hereby declare no election, no 2023 general election in Biafra land. This no election in Biafra land has been activated. We are going to make it a task that must be done by every Biafran. All measures will be put in place to make sure the adequate civil disobedience is implemented to stop the election in Biafra land.
Do you know the meaning of discovery? It means to bring to light something that is buried on the ground. If you can accept that, then you know that Biafra is coming. There is nothing man can do about it. It's too late. Way, way too late. The countdown has begun.
Thanking you all for joining. Today is the 24th day of January 2022, and today is the final day of the 2 days sit at home, which has recorded huge success in every part of Biafra land. And I want to use this medium to thank everyone who have made it successful, those of us who propagated this gospel on social media, those who propagated it on land or in the field, those who did it anywhere you are all over the world, whatever role you played to make sure that this sit at home was successful or is successful, because today is still on. I want to appreciate you on behalf of the leadership of IPOB, and of course on behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and on behalf of Mazi Simon Ekpa. I want to thank you for your role that you have played, for those of you who decided to sit at home, those of you who told the people at home to sit at home, those of you who took your actions regarding this. Thank you so much all for joining. My name is Kelechi Ambrose, and this is Evident History Program on Biafra Global Network. Remember, this is Biafra Global Network. Yes, welcome back. I want to thank you, Eric Barry, for being the first person sending a message today. I want to thank you, viewers, wherever you are watching, from wherever you are. I appreciate you all for your support and your consistency in the issues that have to do with our collective interest, and that is the interest of freedom. And I know that you value you understand what freedom means. And that is why you are an intellectual. You understand the basis of freedom. Hence, you have become a product of in the hands of God, or a vessel in the hands of God, to make sure that you are evidently part of this. I want to thank you, Ben, for your message. Ben, thank you so much. Good day, Mazi. Thank you. I appreciate you too. And also, I want to thank you, Okolo Michael, for being here. Great guys, doing great things on behalf of Biafra. Thank you so much. Alozia Friday too here. It's been a while I saw you Alozia Friday, but good to have you today. I want to appreciate everyone who is joining, wherever you're watching from, even if you have not sent a message. I want you to do that. And at the same time, if you can't, anyway, some of you might be working, some of you might be doing some other things. I want to appreciate you very, very, very strongly, and from my heart, say thank you so much for being part of this. Today is Tuesday, and we're ending the sit at home in preparation to the father of all sit at home. Now, remember, all this sit at home program and events, all this while is to prepare us for this time. Remember, we're getting into February, and February is a very crucial month. I tell you that what is coming in February will shock the world, will shock the zoo, and will shake the foundations to crush it to the ground. Totally, it will cause Nigeria to go extinct. Remember, the reason why you are suffering is not because you are in the area or you are an indigenous person in Biafra or Oduduwa or whatever nation that you are from. The reason why you are suffering is because your identity was connected to a brand name that is a business registered product for the British. Whenever people get into business, it's either they go into legitimate business or fraudulent business. And in the aspect of Nigeria, it is a critically fraudulent business. And the fraud is that you brand nations and give them a brand name that is a business name. So they are not able to operate as nations anymore. Rather, they become your product for selling your brand all over the world and sustaining your economy, sustaining your own people,
and living on the blood of the people you are subjugating for your selfish interest. And that is why, that is the problems where, that is the situation we are in. Basically, I'm not going to talk about all of Africa because we know that all of Africa is in that dilemma. But I'm going to talk about Biafra Nation being the central point of the most sensitive aspect of Africa that has to be liberated for everyone to be liberated. And I want to tell you today that, you know, and thank you all, British Dishes. Yes, so bring it on. Let it rain. It's raining. It's raining, all British Dishes. Thank you so much, Madubugu. Oh, thank you. Greetings, my brother. Thank you so much, Madubugu, for joining. I appreciate you guys for your time, for giving your time. Let me tell you something. There's nothing wrong with Biafra Nation as a nation. There's nothing wrong with Oduduwa Nation as a nation. There's nothing wrong with the Hausa Nation as a nation. There's nothing wrong with every of the nations that are trapped in the contraption. There's nothing wrong with any of these nations. They have the capability, in spite of their internal wranglings and in spite of their internal problems, in spite of their internal situations and all of that, whatever you can think, whatever you think about the people and however evil you think the people are, and whatever thing you think about who is the jealousy of an Igbo man, the evil of an Igbo man, the hatred of an Igbo man, there's nothing wrong with the nations on their own. The reason why the strength of the people begin to become negatively, affected, to become or used negatively in the other aspect, is because a brand was forced on them, and then in that mindset of segregation, nepotism, hatred, corruption, and subjugation, children are being born, and people are being orientated in this aspect, in this part of reasoning of Nigeria. That's mentality of Nigeria. Now, I've told you that it is either you are an intellectual or you are a Nigerian. And as a Nigerian, it means you can't reason. The opposite of being an intellectual is being a Nigerian. You must understand this fundamentally, in the sense that when you are a Nigerian, you have no ability to reason things out. Now, let me give you this instance. Let me give you this very, very important instance. It's a funny instance, but I'm going to give it to you here so that I can, because, Jesus was using parables and simple things in life to explain some certain things to the people, because the kingdom of God has to be explained or brought down to the nitty-gritties of normal human endeavors and humanistic operations. Stanley, good to have you here. Good evening, boss. Nice to see you here again. It's been a while. Where have you been? You've not been showing up, Stanley. Where have you been? I know you're enjoying yourself in the zoo in Lagos. But don't worry, things will turn around very soon, and it will no more be a zoo. It will now become a nation. Thank you so much, Stanley, for joining. I believe that you're supposed to send me some dishes as a professional caterer that you are. You're supposed to. I'm advertising your product now, so prepare my dishes. I'm advertising you now. Professional caterer. He's a professional caterer. He's been my brother for a long time. In fact, when I was pastoring in a church in 2008 and all of that, he was in the ministry also, and he is always with me. So if you want to know whether I'm truly lying about being a pastor or not, you can ask him. He was one of my members then, from 2008 to up to 2013 or so, when I left that ministry and joined another ministry. And that ministry, I pastored their branch in Ado Ekiti in Ekiti State, in Ado Ekiti, yes, and then in Belkuta and in Lagos too. So my brother Stanley, good to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. And Jude, thank you so much. Jude, I appreciate you. You are welcome to this program today. Thank you so much, Jude. I appreciate you guys. All right, Mr. Stanley, prepare the dish. I've advertised your product, so I'm gonna charge you the fee for advertisement so that people can patronize you and do business with you. Don't mind me, I'm just joking. That's on the lighter note. So now we are talking about Nigeria. Now let me give you this instance that I want to give you, because it's very, very important for us to use simple things. I remember when I was very young, then I was in Assemblies of God Church, with my parents. And I think I should be about 12 years old. Yes, 13, yes. And of course, as a member of the Royal Rangers, I belong to the, is it the Bucaros or Pan, Bucaros? You know, there's one segment of the Rear Rangers that's called Bucaros or Trailblazers. I don't know, because then I used to behave older than my age. I don't know why it's been like that, you know. So of course, even at my level, you know, our children level, I was the head of that group of Rear Rangers. We have the different groups headed by one of the people or one of the age group you know, person there who is for his age group, he's the leader. So I was the head of, or the leader of my age group, and then we have an adult who is in charge of everything we do. So now then when I was very young, just like what I was doing now, I believe that God has been preparing me over time, you know, to do this. In children's department, then I used to read the news. You know, they'll, you know, we used to read news when it is Children's Day. You know, we organize news. I'll be giving, maybe I and one girl also will sit down. We'll be reading the news, and the news will be so funny because we'll write. There are so many things that will be written. You know, that will assume that we are either in US. You know, sometimes I will do the reporting. There was one particular reporting that I remembered that I did, you know, when I was, you know, this narrative of religious, and we believe it was real. We believe it was true, and it became part of us. Now, I'm trying to explain Nigeria here so that you can understand what Nigeria really means here. Now, as a child, then, I think that was 12 years old. When I was 12 years old, I had this reporting I was going to do. My younger brother now was going to be reading the news with one girl in, you know, in the inside of the church front. You know, they put a desk and all of that, and then we sit down and then you read to the church as if you are reading news on the screen, you know, and the people will be smiling and all of that. Read news of issues and all of that pertaining to the church, pertaining to the children's department and other things that are written. Now, there's this particular reportage I had to do, you know, based on the fact that of course, I had to cram it because those days I used to cram, but I can't forget this particular one that I crammed and I had, you know, to report from a corner. I'll just stay at a corner. They will bring the microphone to the back of the church. I'll be there. I'll be saying it as if I'm reporting from afar. People will be hearing the sound, but they don't know who's talking. Of course, those who identify my voice would always do that. And you know, I remember I think I remember some lines in that reportage that day. You know, I said, the United States of America, popularly known as God's own country, is blessed not only economically, politically, and socially, but in growth since the establishment of Royal Rangers. It has grown from strength to strength and winning souls for Christ. Now, in that light, you know, in the end, I had to put my name reporting from Hollywood, California. Of course, you heard the church laugh. People were just laughing, you know, reporting from Hollywood, California. They know that you have a mic somewhere and you are reporting from Hollywood, California. But to us, at that time, as young as we were, we thought it was nice. We thought it was the right thing. We thought we were doing, you know, it was original to us. In fact, we felt that that narrative was, we were trying to make the church believe that we were reporting from somewhere. And the narrative here now is in that reportage. Now, that reportage states that the United States of America have been blessed because of the establishment of Royal Rangers. Now, get this. Now, when I began to get older, I began to reason along that line. How come Royal Rangers is the reason why America is growing? Because I've never heard of Royal Rangers as one of the elements of making America grow. I know that technology has been science and all of that. These are the facts here. But as young as we were then, that narrative here, that Royal Rangers is the reason, based on that reportage, was in my mindset that, wow, so Royal Rangers is the reason why America is growing. Whereas Royal Rangers is just a paramilitary organization that is connected to a church. You know, a religious organization like Assemblies of God Church, as a paramilitary organization to carry out exercises, to do things that have to do with, you know, in a military format, you know, to have a kind of a platform, just like the Boy Scouts, Girls Guide, and all of these stuff, you know, for people who are, you know, into such kinds of organization, just for entertainment and also to coordinate when it is necessary. It is a paramilitary stuff, so it's not a military stuff; it's a paramilitary stuff. So Royal Rangers was just a paramilitary religious, you know, arm of Assemblies of God Church, which is of course an organization, also a religious organization, you know, and. When I began to grow up, my eyes began to get cleared from that sentiment and that you know, indoctrination that Assemblies of God Church is not, Royal Rangers is not actually the reason why America is growing. But at that age, I believed everything that came from the church, including that narrative, that reportage that was given to me. I thought it was real. I thought it was real. That was my mindset. Whatever came from the religious institutions at that time was real. And nothing can change my mindset regarding that. So I felt that what I was given is actually the real thing, and I believed it. The same way also Britain brought their dictates and their formation, their structure, their corruption and their manipulation and all of that, and forced it down the throat of people who are in the indigenous people who are now brought together and trapped. And some people took it like everything, just swallowed everything, hook, line, and sinker, swallowed everything. They don't care. They don't tell them, don't try to explain. It's like religion. Religion is like alcohol. When people get drunk with it, I don't tell them anything. I know somebody that recently we've been quarreled because of the issues of religion. I said, for God's sake, I'm a pastor. I'm talking from the angle of a pastor. So as a pastor, you're not going to say now I'm biased about religious organizations, because I belong to. I am part of them. So it is not about hate or this. It's not about hate or resentment, but it is about the fact that I am connected to understanding from the perspective of God's side, which scripture opens up to me. So when I see something that is wrong, my mind have been mature in spiritual things, so that I begin to tell myself the truth. When else will I tell myself the truth? Is it when I'm dead? You can imagine Oduduwa just died recently. He told himself lies until he died. What kind of life is that? That at our age, we can tell ourselves what is true and what is false. At our age, some of us are 50, some of us are 60, some of us are 70, some of us are 80, some of us are 30, some of us are even 20. We cannot tell ourselves time is running out. Time is letting you understand that you are every second, every minuscule second that ticks, that clock, that of the minutes. Minuscule seconds counted in that second, of the seconds, not minutes now, of the seconds. Even the minuscule seconds counted in that second brings you closer to your grave. You heard the story of somebody dying today. You say, oh, he's dead. Your time, his own death drew your own death closer, because every second, every minuscule second brings us closer to our grave. And yet we keep deceiving ourselves. We deceived ourselves yesterday. We want to deceive ourselves today and still want to deceive ourselves tomorrow. I believe that wise people and intelligent people would learn from the errors of the people who have gone before. Somebody like George Obiozor lied to himself, sold his people, made Biafrans, and cost the lives of many Biafrans because of his callousness and his compromise with the Fulanis. Many people died, but he was there as an elderly man who was already close to his grave, but he had never saw an opportunity to get himself to retrace his steps so that he can now be in the good side of the books, at least in the towards the ending of the time. At least towards the ending of the time, you say, okay, at least when he was dying, he was able to retrace his step and he got back to his place and all of that. So thank you so much, Diana. Thank you so much. And Project Breakthrough, thank you. Stanley says something. You said another man's death brings us closer to our grave. Yes, that's just the fact. There's no two ways about it. Anytime somebody dies, we are getting closer. It brings us closer, and we are getting closer. So that is the fact, and that is the truth, and we cannot, and shy away from it. And that is basic. That is why when we have the opportunity, thank you so much, Stanley. I always love to listen to you. Thank you so much, Stanley. I appreciate you. And of course, I appreciate you. That one for sure, and so these facts are very, very important. That is where wisdom comes. Wisdom demands that you look at information and get a vivid understanding by dissecting the information, so that by dissecting the information and by vivid processing of the information, you would be able to now prioritize and utilize those information appropriately and rightly. That is what wisdom is. Right application of knowledge. Right application of knowledge is what wisdom is. Great, great. Mazikalisha, God bless you, my brother. Watching you from Bolgatanga, upper East region, Ghana. Is there any part that is about God? Okay. Oh, wow. That's good. That's good. All the way far away from Accra. Wow. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much, my brother Mazi and Vine. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate you. Now, you see, wisdom is the right application. Some people think that wisdom is gray hair. It's funny. Wisdom is never gray hair. Wisdom is never gray hair. I can give so many instances in the world today where wisdom is not even gray hair. I can give you instances of even Biden. The other day I heard him, as old as he is, he was saying that we are here. I think I will look for that video and play that video. And anytime I listen to that place, I just burst out laughing. I said, how can this man at his age, he's talking about LGBTQ? A man who is supposed to have wisdom and understanding knows that nature created, or natural things are created male and female. And he is standing to say that he must make sure he secures the right of a man marrying another man, or a woman marrying another woman as their rights. How can it be right when naturally you don't have that right? By nature, where you are designed and placed in, you don't have the right to talk about, because the instances or the features of nature does not even warrant that, because your fellow man cannot give birth on your behalf. You can love someone else, yes, but that doesn't mean that it has to be sexual. In the sense of sexual relationship and all of that, it has to do with male and female. Even animals know this, for God's sake. How come people who don't reason, people who have reasoning faculty don't know this? So this is the issue here, and this is the fact. So as young as I was given that narrative in that reportage, and I read the United States of America, popularly known as God's own country, is blessed not only economically but since the establishment of Royal Rangers, and because it was a religious material given to me as at that time, because it represented the religious institution that gave to me, and because it was coming from the ministry, I saw it as true that Royal Rangers is the reason why America is developed. America has received everything, and that was when I was about 12 years old. So everything that comes from the church or the ministry, is like the total. It's like what I don't need to argue. And so I believed it until I started growing up. I began to understand that Royal Rangers does not have any input to the development of America. America was developed by intellectuals and by academicians and people who were able to rightly apply their skills and talents and ability economically to the system, and especially in the area of technology and technological advancement. So that is where. So now that is what really being a Nigerian is. Just like what happened to me when I was young, as I told you, 12 years old. I believe everything the religious institution gives to me, and I believe it's true, but it was just a reportage. To them, it meant nothing, but to me, it meant everything, because at my age, at my level, they feel, I understand that whatever they give to me should be right and correct, but they understand that they were just playing some kind of, program, which just make it interesting, and as at that time. But in the context of Nigeria, those who are doing this to you know very well that they're doing the wrong thing to you. Britain knows they are doing the wrong thing to you. The Fulanis know they are doing the wrong thing to you, but they have justified it by their actions, by their behaviors, by their everything that they have. They know they are forcing the wrong narrative into you, and their intention is to corrupt your mind. Maybe that time they never intended that they corrupt my mind, because they were thinking that they were just giving me a reportage to make as news, and all of that. But they never explained to me that it was just a reportage. They just left me in the cold, left me in that space of my imagination, and all I thought was that I was reading a news that is true. So you see, that is what every Nigerian is. When information comes, they just take the information and they just swallow the information. And like how religion is, like alcohol it is. Now, I want you to understand something. When I talk about religion, I am not talking about the life of Christ itself. That's what I want to. So don't think I'm antichrist or anti-Christ. Christ is real. Christ is the work of salvation is real. Don't get me wrong. But what I am talking about is the extraction from the information or the activities of Christ, coined by men, redesigned by men, and sugar-coated by men, and forced into your throat throat so that they can remote control you and control every aspect of your life. I'm watching from Accra, Ghana. Stanley, are you serious? I shown my estate, Ghana. Wow. The other day you told me you were in Ghana. I thought you were joking. You are still in Ghana. That's interesting. That is the Accra Ashongma estate. Yeah, what's going on? Let's chat later. What's happening? Well, how come you've been in Ghana for this long? Have you relocated? I want to know. The BMO. Good afternoon. I heard BMO. I heard you. I saw your post yesterday when you talked about Chidi. Driving truck, and I just laughed. The issue of Chidi. Maybe I'm going to do some little, analysis on that Chidi matter today again, and all of that. Chidi is just funny. Fellow Biafrans, we great Biafrans must declare honest Ndibo and World Igbo Congress terrorists against Biafrans. BMO, you guys should ignore those people. They are not important to us. Just move your emotion to something better. They are not, don't be giving these people relevance by making them think that whatever they say gets into you. When I see their messages like this, I just look at it and I just laugh. And I said, we are doing what we're doing. You can stop us from what we're doing. We are certain, we are sure, and we are steadfast. We are still making progress. They are not stopping us. So whatever it is, we don't have to go. It's not start cat and mouse chase here. We have something more important to concentrate on, so we don't have time for them. They already know that when they are joining the Nigeria Congress or the Nigeria contraption, they are terrorists. Because yesterday, if you remember, and there was a narrative I made, and I showed you some pictures. I said anybody who is endorsing Nigeria is endorsing the killings. Let me give you some of this graphic stuff again, or some of these pictures. Anybody who endorses Nigeria is part of those who have done this to our people, those who have done this to our children. If you are a Nigerian, because Nigeria did this, you are part of those who sponsored the dehydration, the kwashoko, the starvation of children all over Biafra land and the places all over the place, all over the land where our people are. If you are part of those talking about Nigeria today, and Nigeria purposefully caused the starvation of people and made them suffer like this, you are also part of the people who sponsored the killings of your grandparents, the killings of your parents, the killings of your uncles, nieces, aunties. Most of these people would have been great people today, but because they were killed, maybe one of them would have been a help to you today, but because they were killed by the Nigeria contraption, here we are today. We are suffering because of the attack on freedom, on the attack on good life, on the attack of seeking to have a normal life. That is why these guys were killed, just because they were demanding for freedom. That is why all of these things happen. And that is why we are fighting to restore freedom. That is what we're doing. That's what we're doing, Mr. Two. I'm watching from Accra, Ghana too. Wow, Eliza Thomas. Wow, really? We have lots of people from Ghana. All this from here, wow, I'm watching from Dome Achimota Mall. Wow, I know that place. Eliza Thomas. I know that Achimota Mall. I know that place. Wow. We have people here all the way from Ghana, doing what they are doing, and greatly too. Wow. So we have 3 people here: Stanley, and Mr. Eliza, and of course Vine Maxwell. Our guys all the way watching from Ghana, and these are people who are ready also to go back to Biafra land to defend their land, and all of that. I don't know whether Stanley is still a one Nigerian, because I always know you talking about Nigeria, so I don't know whether he's still a one Nigerian. If until now you have to be delivered on this broadcast, you have to get out of it. BMO says you're absolutely 100% correct. Okay, thank you so much, BMO. Yes, we don't need to get divided because of this. Now, today we are looking at the arsenal of conspiracy. Now, the conspiracy is so much. Now, let me begin with what BMO talked about. Is it BMO or who was talking about it? Yes, BMO. When you actually, I don't know whether it's he or she, The picture I'm seeing there is she, anyways. BMO actually talked about Chidi, riding trucks. Anyways, that's not my concern anyway. He could be doing anything. But when people begin to manipulate other people, they put doctor on their name. I know most people who are in this thing we are doing and who are not even named this thing, they always want to attach doctor to their names and so many other initials, titles, and so that they will look relevant. You don't need all of that. My name is Kelechi, and that is what I bear. My name is also Harry. People want, but I prefer to bear my Igbo name because that is what I am, and I have to go back to my roots. Even if I have Ambrose with time, I'm going to remove the Ambrose and put my traditional name complete, just like Nnamdi Kanu, complete traditional. But because I need people to know who is, and all of that, who is there and all of that, and that is what people have known me for. So I use it for now, Kelechi Ambrose. So I don't need Dr. Professor Kelechi Ambrose. At least, of course, if you want to talk about professorship, if someone like Sophia can say she's a professor, then that means I don't know, it's an insult anyways, to me to even talk about being a professor, because professorship in the zoo or in the contraption Nigeria is now for dead brains, those whose brains are dead, those whose brains are dead, those who don't have anything to offer. You can imagine people who call themselves professor. The other day I saw Patutomi and all of that. Someone who has a Lagos Business School, working with one other nitwit, going together and say they are doing a work protest about Nigeria for good governance. And I was wondering, how can a professor not understand what Nigeria is? They're talking about our nation, our country. And Patutomi was there. If I'm not disappointed in any other person, I'm disappointed in him, because he should have been able to educate those people that Nigeria is not a nation, because he should understand what a nation means. I've said it several times here, what a nation is. I've said it several times, what a country is. I've said it several times, what a state is. And if you are going to talk about a nation, then you must understand that before you define anything in a particular order, you must understand the characteristics. It is the characteristics that helps you define that thing. So if you say Nigeria is a state, what are the characteristics of Nigeria? Does it coincide with the characteristics of being a nation? The answer is no. I can't begin to narrate all of these details here again. Maybe once a while, one would have to narrate them so that people can understand these facts. Now, let me tell you what a nation is. A nation is a group of people. A simple definition, anytime, anywhere. It's a group of people with common ties. What does it mean to have common ties? That means there's what brings you together. Common ties, something that brings you together. There's nothing like one Nigeria, because they only say it but never meant it. To me, one Nigeria is a scam. Yes, they don't even need to say it to mean it. Even if they say it and they mean it, there's nothing like one Nigeria, and that's the truth. Because you can't have one Nigeria when you are not one. It's not possible. You have to be one to be one. You can't be two to be one. So because a Fulani man is different from a Hausa person, and a Hausa person is different from a Biafran. A Biafran is different from, we are all different. So we are not one. So we can't be one. We can't be talking about unity when we cannot be, when we are different and we have different shapes. We can't fit in the same, platform. We can't fit in the same hole. We are different. So these are critical so that people can understand the basis of, yes. Now we talk about, ties, common ties, talking about culture, talking about religion, food, just like Aubrey's dishes is saying here, dressing, etc. These are common ties. Now, what is the common tie in Nigeria between or amongst? Because we are more than two. When you say two things, you say between. When it's more than two things, you say among. Amongst the nations that are trapped in Nigeria, what are the common ties? We don't have anything in common. We don't eat the same food. We don't have the same lifestyle. We don't have the same masquerade. We don't have the same market days. We don't have the same language. We don't have, some people say language may not. Yes, language sometimes, even within the same tie, you can also have language differences. Do you know that in my family now, I can decide to begin to compose a language? Let me tell you guys something. When we were young, I and my brothers, we formed a particular form of communication in which even our parents don't even understand when they hear us speak. Does that mean that they're not my father and my mother? No. But because we devised a means of communication that they cannot understand, what we did is that we take words, that are, English, and we turn them inside out, and we pronounce it inside out. We began to understand one another, because I don't know how we did that, but it was interesting. But we understood what we were saying. Whenever we were in a public place, we say it, you will never understand. Our parents will never understand when we were saying some stuff, where they are. But we were saying we're communicating. That's language. So people will say, okay, if you talk about language, you must not have the same language. Yes, But the truth about it is that there's something connected. Our DNA is the same. There's something that connects the two of you, or two or more of you, for you to be bound by a common tie. So if Nigeria does not have those features that binds us, with common ties, then there's no way to call it, there's no way you can call it a nation. That means it's illiteracy. That means your academic knowledge does not quantize with your intellectual knowledge. Because that means your intellectual knowledge is dormant. What you are operating on is academic, what they have told you. Just like what I was giving the explanation when I was little. They gave me a reportage for me to report, stay at a corner and use the microphone to say to the people and assume it is coming from, I was speaking from Hollywood, California. And everything that was said in that paper was that Royal Rangers has become, was or is the basis of the growth of America. And because I was a tyro, a neophyte, a child, innocent, and I always take everything that religion brings, and as long as they brought it under the auspices of the religious organization, it is true. They never explained to me that it was just a narrative, but I took it and I operated on that mindset that Royal Rangers brought development to America. But now I've come to understand, because now my intellectual ability is working effectively. But as at that time, it was academic. I read it, and that is what I read, and that is what I crammed. Academic. But intellectual, I didn't process the information I got from that academic knowledge that I got. I took the academic knowledge, I absorbed it, but I didn't process it to prove my ability to reason and to come to the point of wisdom. That is why I said wisdom is the application of knowledge. So if there's no vivid understanding of the details of knowledge, you can't apply them. That is why you must understand this. That is why we say you cannot be a Nigerian and at the same time being an intellectual. Because every Nigerian thinks that Nigeria is a nation, whereas an intellectual understands that Nigeria is not a nation. And a Nigerian believes Nigeria is a nation because they were told that Nigeria is their country. I pledge to Nigeria my country. And they believe that Nigeria is a nation or a country or a state. Now, this information came academically and they absorbed the information, but they were not able to process the information through intellectual procedures and then utilize this as a means of getting the kind of information they need to do what they need to do. Now, remember, today is the evidence history program, but I don't know why when I come like this, I'll begin to talk differently from what I actually want to come. And before you know it, I'll not teach the lesson for the day. I don't know, but I think it's good also because it's part of learning. What we're doing is learning. The particular narrative I wanted to give, if you remember when I told you on People on Sunday, I said on Sunday I'm going to continue the narrative of that Mark chapter 5, where the woman with a blood issue that had a blood issue and she met Jesus. And I wanted to give you a narrative relating it to what is happening today and between Nigerians and, of course, Biafrans, and then, of course, those who are, looking at opportunities. I wanted to relate it to the opportunities we have right now as Biafrans and Oduduwa and other nations that are trapped in the contraption on utilizing the information we have right now to get ourselves free. I wanted to relate it to that scripture. But anyways, let's go on in this order, as much as we can go, because we are still doing the same learning. With time, I will still do what I have to do. I'll still talk about it. Even if I have to talk about it on Sunday again, that Mark chapter 5, I'm going to do that. But it seems that the teaching here is very, very necessary for me to continue in this narrative and all of that. So let me go on to the messages that you're posting so that I can begin to say some stuff from there. Chidi and Amajori. Now let me look at the issue of Chidi and Ejiofor. That's Mr. Ejiofor yesterday. Now remember, Mr. Ejiofor talks about him being the leader of World Igbo Congress, WIC. And as a leader, he was talking about always, Mazin Namdekano, always understanding, and all of that. But first, before I go into that narrative and we need to talk about what we're talking about today, based on your submissions here, let me remind our people that today's Sit at Home was very successful. And I'm going to give you about 2 clips of how people sat at home. And more clips are out there. So I'll just play the 2 so that you can understand that we are serious when we say there's going to be total lockdown of Biafra land on the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th of February. Now, let me tell you people, we are not joking. We see, if you don't know that, if you don't 24th, 24th, 24th. If you don't know if you don't know that war has been brought to you, then something is wrong with you. Now, I'm going to check a particular document today, which I saw, and where Mazin Amdekan and Samuel was talking about, global terrorism index, of IPOB being in that index right now and all of that. I said, well, let me see if I can see something that has to do with that, because to us it makes no sense anyways. And of course we know that the only reason why they will put it there is because there's global conspiracy, but in actual terms and facts, that is not true. But I wanted to see, and then I found a document from one Ohanese youth leader, and he posted something. I think that was where people got that information and began to circulate it, that global terrorism index has IPOB as part of it. And I said, wow. And I read through that article. I saw stupidity. I saw the fullness of a Nigerian. I'm going to use that article today to describe what a Nigerian and who a Nigerian is. But first, let me play this video of the sit at home today.
24th day of January 2023, and this is how the popular operating markets look like. Everywhere is still under lock and key. The Biafran people keep demonstrating on their readiness to leave this contraption called Nigeria. This is how the load look like. Everywhere is still under lock and key. Biafrans are observing the sit at home.
Today is the second day of the sit at home in Abia State. It's 24th of January 2023. This Global News reporting from far away, Abia State, as a case study ground of the whole Biafra land. Sit at home here is 100%, you can say. 100%. Every shops are locked. Every shops are locked, and say. Every shops are locked. Every shops are locked. Everywhere is locked. It's 100%. That is it. Thank you very much. And I want to inform them to be alert on the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 27th, 26th, 27th, 28th. For announcement that is going to come from Biafra spokesperson about those dates. So be abreast with the dates. It's going to be awesome. Biafra is already here. I want to thank everybody for this. Global News Report.
Now, it's been a successful one. Anyways, it's still on. The sit at home is a sign and an evidence that Biafra people are ready and determined to be free. There's nothing in this life, nothing created, that can stop Biafra from coming from the next 40 days. You see, all those things, the military, the Nigerian military, caliphate military, all the actions, all these press statements, they are releasing everywhere, talking about election. They are jokers. And I can assure you that those guys, well, by this time next month, we are going to be counting the scores. By this time next month. Because you see, when you look at what is happening in Nigeria, you begin to wonder. You begin to wonder at the temerity that people who are evil, who think that they have control over every other thing, control over every other person, and think that they can call the shots and narrative. Especially when you look at it and you look at the people who are calling the shots, Fulanis, marauders. Sorry, please. Fulani marauders, people who are empty, cannot even put their legs in our shoes. It's like the Bible narrative where the master is walking on his feet. The servant is sitting on the horse, and the master is walking and pulling the horse for the servant. That is what is happening. It's an abomination. It is unacceptable anywhere in this life. It's unacceptable. You can imagine a goat goes into the where lions are, and begin to terrorize the lions, and the lions are watching and running away from the goat. Lord have mercy. I can't imagine this. It is impossible. You know, just like one you know, stuff I saw, one funny cartoon I saw, you know, this small puppy, you know, and was chasing I think it's a tiger or something, or a lion or something, was chasing the lion or tiger. And then after some time, they now at another point, somebody was interviewing the puppy. He said, "How were you able to do this?" He said, I was on drugs or something." Whether he was drunk or he was on drugs. So when you are drunk, you can imagine that you can do anything. You can even imagine that you are flying. You can imagine anything because you are drunk. But that is illusion. That is illusion. Now, how long will Nigerians be in illusion, living in an elusive world where the paupers, the marauders, criminals, controlling about, let me not say 200 million people. I don't know how many are Nigerians, because I know that many people now are no more Nigerians. As soon as you have the sense of understanding what it means to be a Nigerian, you are already an intellectual. You're no more a Nigerian, because as at that time you have received your deliverance. So that is why the mental state of the people determine how they function. Now let me go to your message. Now we're talking about Chidi. You know, now Ejiofor said something in that particular video that we, during our broadcast yesterday, the joint media broadcast. And Chidi was saying something also. Of course, Chidi mentioned telling Ejiofor that they should take stringent actions. That you see that most of these people who are responding on social media are poor, jobless people. And that these same jobless people are with them. This same they are speaking on behalf of the jobless people, the poor jobless people, who they say Mazi Simon Ekpa controls. Now you see how they contradict themselves. They say Mazi Simon Ekpa is using social media, is only controlling people on social media, but does not have a grip on the minds of the people, or does not have a grip on the actions of the people, or cannot determine where the people stand, because the people are standing with them. Now, the people are standing with you, but on a social platform where, if you want to know those who stand with you, whether they are pretending or not, they are not with you. Because it is on that social relations that you understand who is trying to be with you, or who is pretending to be with you, or even who is with you. Because you just have everybody who is going to be part of you will show you, or even if they are not part of you, they need that social platform to pretend as if they are for you. So if everybody is being for Mazi Simon Ekpa on the social platform, how come they are not pretending towards your area to be that they are for you? Since the social platform is necessary for them to deceive you that they are for you, if they are deceiving Mazi Simon Ekpa. So Chidi flawed there, because when he said the people are jobless, and the same people who are jobless are seeking for good life, which means that the action of crumbling Nigeria is one important factor in the minds of the people who are jobless and suffering. Because if they were not suffering and jobless, they wouldn't think of working against Nigeria or fighting against Nigeria. So if you say you're working for the interest of the people, you and Ejiofor, if you are working for the people, then how come you are speaking a different language from the people? The people are on a different page. You are on a different page. So you understand it. Now you understand where these guys are coming from. They are just Nigerians. They are not intellectuals. So that's it. So let's go forward. Chidi is an Amajiri suspect that he has had bad blood, and I think that he has a bad blood. I think Fulani terrorist blood in him. Chidi is just confused. He's a very confused Nigerian, you know. And Rodney says the coming of Biafra Oduduwa nation will be the end of divide and rule. Colonialism, slavery of Africans. We must fight to get free dignity as humans. Good work, Mr. Kalichi. Thank you so much, Rodney, for your message. And let me read from BMO. Say, my brother, Mazi Kalichi, I'm a man. Okay, the picture of my profile is my dear, lovely mom. Okay, the Eze and wine of the Republic of Biafra. Wow, that's good. That's good to know this. You know, that picture has been there for a long time. I've been wondering, is this a lady or a guy? Anytime I see BMO, my mind goes to a lady. So good, you have clarified us today. Chidis and Amajiri, I think he had bad blood. He has questionable character. I think he has a Fulani blood in him. I think so too. I think so too, because the way that guy is talking senselessly and otherwise, you're just going to wonder where this guy is coming from. Culture, religion, food, dress, etc. Talking about nation. Yes, thank you, Bruce Dishes, for that. Referring to nations. And Lisa Thomas says, I did the same thing too. Yes, we all had that experience. Culture, food, religion, and ways of life. That's it. That's what a nation is. And how do you define Nigeria in that context when Nigeria does not even have that, formation, those features? So you begin to wonder, what is Nigeria? And that is what Nigeria is, just a business product. Now, remember, on Sunday, I was giving you analysis on Nigeria as regards brand. In marketing, there's a word called branding. And branding is very critical in how far you can create awareness for your product. Because your brand is what you need to create awareness. Your brand is what you are selling when you are creating awareness. Anytime you have a product, for instance, if you're a business person, the way you paint your shop, the way you write the name, the way you try to, it's just like when you go to barber salon, you see the way they put a nice glass, they put nice chairs, they put TV, they put some stuff, they brand it in a way to capture the attention of the people. Because the important thing here is that they need the people to be attracted. Your brand is what brings the attraction towards you. So what Britain did is this. When they began slavery, this is evident history. So we'll go to historic facts, and then we begin to analyze it in the context of the present. Now, when you go to when Britain came, they came in that raw style. They came kidnapping, killing, maiming people, forcefully taking people into slavery and all of that. When they saw that that was beginning to bring a kind of too much of attention and especially anger towards them, they felt they can rebrand this thing to make it look attractive so that they can be on a better pedestrian to sell the narrative to the international community that they are only here to help and support these nations or to do business with these nations. Whereas they are still stealing, they are still killing, they are still maiming using proxies like the Fulanese and all of these to create this kind of mayhem. So what they did is this. For them to create a brand, for you to have a brand, you need a name. Now, in that name, you are going to create the format to which that name will be referenced. That means then whenever people hear that name, they know it represents a particular product. So what they needed to do is this. They needed to create a name that is in a way caused to deceive the international community that the business they have come to do with the nations that are within that West Africa sub-region is the business of slavery. So they have come to deceive the international community and other people, or make it look lucrative so that nobody's eye, not to raise an eyebrow. So all they did is this: bring a name called Nigeria and then name it after, or force the people around to bear that name. And then that name is registered. So it becomes an official operation in a business format. So when you want to talk about their business approach, you use the brand name Nigeria. When you use the brand name Nigeria, nobody looks at the details. People only look at the name to say that this is a nation, because it is meant to deceive, to make it look like a nation, because the people are put under a particular name as a brand. But in actual fact, they are none of them are a nation under the umbrella of Nigeria. They are only nations on their own. And because they are nations on their own, their identity is hidden because they have been forced to be put under a name that is not a national name, but a brand name for a particular business. Now, the illusion here is that the indigenous people or the indigenous nations are nations. So originally, they have legal positions to claim to be nations. But that legal position to claim to be nations have been hijacked by the slave masters and fused into the name Nigeria, so that that name Nigeria becomes the false identity, plagiarizing, let me use the word plagiarizing, yes, or misrepresenting or what simple word do I use now that everyone can understand? Or being a deceit to everyone to misrepresent the true identity of the indigenous nations. Let me try to break it down. Please let me explain it better here now. I hope you guys are understanding me. Let's look at it critically. Oduduwa nation is a nation. And anywhere in the world, it goes by the definition nation, because the word nation is defined by a group of people with common ties. So when you look at it, you look at the Oduduwa nation, you can say now it's a nation. By common sense, you just know that it's a nation, because by the generally accepted definition of nation, nation means a group of people with common ties. So Oduduwa is a nation. Biafra is a nation because it is also a group of people with common ties. And I've told you what common ties means. Some of our people here, like Eliza or Brisnishes, have explained what common ties mean. Now, your Hausan kingdom, even if they are under the subjugation of the Fulanis, is also a nation because they're a group of people with common ties. Should I say the Bagis, the Juguns, the different kinds of nations are in the contraption, each of them having their identity as separate nations. Now, because the word nation represents legal position, representing a group of people, the British saw it as an opportunity to create a camouflage or a deceit template using the image of these legitimate nations to brand that name Nigeria, because they forced these legitimate people to come together using a few criminals. Now they gave a kind of deceitful legal face to the brand name Nigeria by using the legal positions of the nations in their separate locations. Now, which means that every nation with its legitimate stance as nation or as nations were coined or were forced to become one nation using an umbrella name called Nigeria, whereas under the umbrella name called Nigeria, the word nation does not define the collective or bringing the people all of different nations together. Because when you bring them all together, you are not going to call them a nation. You are only going to have a problem with the definition of the word nation. So it's either they are going to be coming together as a confederation where they will still have their identity as nations and still have that collective name based on the fact that they collectively agreed to have that name that sums them all up. For instance, if the Oduduwa nation decide with the Biafra nation and the Hausa nation and all of these nations, and they all come together and there's a referendum, and everybody say they want to bear the name carrot, for instance. Let's use a vegetable. Let's say everybody now says we want to today, all of us, Oduduwa, Biafra, and everybody want to call ourselves carrot. As soon as we agree, fine and good, we can now say we are carrot. So where are you from? I'm a Biafran, but of course under the carrot nation or the carrot state. You understand? Because what unifies us now is our agreement. Can two work together except they be agreed? Habakkuk 2:2 also, I think. You need agreement to work together. Now, in our working together, that agreement defines how we work together. That is why Nigeria is flawed, because the people who brought us together are not indigenous to us. The British, they're not indigenous to us. The Fulanis are not indigenous to us. But every one of us that were forced together in this thing need to discuss. That is why we talked about restructuring initially. And people were talking about clamoring for sovereign national conference, which was held during the time of Abacha and during the time of Abdul Salami. And all they did was to use it as a game to politically buy time. Now, let me go back to Eliezer. I'm sorry, Ejiofor. Ejiofor said something that is so annoying. And I don't know, when you see a Nigerian, they actually don't reason. In spite of the fact that he calls himself the head of the World Igbo Congress. I don't even know why they will have to form a World Igbo Congress, when there is a World Igbo Union, you know, that governs all of the Igbo nations and all the groups and the unions under the Igbo nation. Now, he said something. He said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu always listened, but Simon Ekpa is something else. In other words, he was saying that whenever Mazi Nnamdi Kanu brings the issue of seat at home or no election, they have a way of convincing him to rescind also, or to renege from his initial stance. So that means that it has become a game. And one thing that made me surprised is that as old as he is, that is why I said, you see, wisdom is not about age. You begin to wonder how people can be very, very saucy and stupid, even at their age. I made reference to Obiozor, who is late now, but yet at his old age, he still fooled himself until he went to his grave. Now, one thing that shocks me, or still, yes, shocks me, because let me not say shocked me, because it still shocks me, is that he said they keep telling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, keep talking to him, and he listens, and then he changes it, and he accepts, and then he cancels the seat at home, and then maybe he cancels the no election. And what shocks me is that at his age, he doesn't understand that that singular act alone makes him someone who is unstable. Hence, nobody will take him seriously. Because if anytime I make a decision based on something very important and dear to me, and as an elder, all I do is come to influence you with my age and everything to make you change your mind so that you now look to the person whom you are trying to save yourself from like you are not serious, then something is wrong with you. Because making a decision, especially when it has to do with serious matters as the issue of freedom, is critical. When you can make a decision and stand by it, it makes your enemy take you seriously, and it makes your enemy fear your decisions. The reason why today we have so much of uprising and attack against Mazi Simon Ekpa today is because the Nigeria contraption and the agents of Nigeria are surprised for the first time to see that somebody would stand and declare seat at home and no election, in spite of whatever he's told he's not reneging. So they felt it's not the narrative. They expect us to play ball with them every time, and they use us to buy time as they conquer us gradually. But they are surprised. That is why all hell broke loose. People like Chidi started writing to Finland. People even those ones who are talking of freedom began to fight the one who is fighting for freedom. You know why? All of them thought that it should be business as usual. It is unusual for you to stand firm on your decision. But when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was saying that we are consistent, consistency is the key. They never understood that the time will come when that narrative of consistency will not be changed. That is why God designed it this way and made the Biafra people come to terms with Mazi Simon Ekpa and kept Mazi Nnamdi Kanu away for a while, so that they will understand what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu means by consistency personified. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as we said initially, is the moderator. Mazi Simon Ekpa is the activator. And it is until we have the moderator and the activator coming or being added or concluded in that format, then we can have the liberation. So when the moderation and the activation comes together, we now have the liberation. So people never understood it. So that Ejiofor never saw that he, at his age, he was making the world see him as unserious. Because when you say that you are specialized in making someone change their mind for something good they're looking for. It simply means that you are specialized in proving to your enemies that you're unserious. And you are specialized in fighting what is good. So he said, Simon Ekpa doesn't listen, but Mazi Nnamdi Kanu listens. But he never understood that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu knew what he was doing. But a time will come when it will be very impossible to change the narrative. And that time came in the time they felt that they are going to get their greedy side to get the benefits of their greed. How? They are all expecting that when Peter Obi comes in, they will begin to make money for themselves. They'll get appointments. They'll get, contracts. They'll get, so it is now our time. Our man is coming. Our man is coming, and he has promised us so many things. So we have to fight and make sure it comes. It is all about what they gain. It is not all about the fact of freedom. That has exposed Ejiofor and his cohorts. So you see, oh my God, it is a very deadly thing to be a Nigerian. Honestly, let me go to your messages because it's already 1 hour plus. So let me go to your messages. Tomorrow is another day. We're going to continue this narrative. GCK 1K Madu. Okay, 1K Madu. Onyenso Media. Thank you so much, my brother, for being here. Thank you so much. You are being led by Yeshua Mashiach, Obris Dishes. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Praise God. You say, thank you. Thank you. Let's look at the people of Biafra are ready to exit this God-forsaken country. We are very, very ready, and we're going to exit this contraption. Alison Dibe says, Mazi, please, how can I get the latest broadcast of ESN? Thank you. Just go to enterbiafra.com/broadcast. enterbiafra.com/broadcast. It will open you up to all the broadcasts. You see the details, and then you can get it. So just go to enterbiafra.com/broadcast. You get them. A lot of the lady says, look how dirty the whole place looks. Oh my. Oh my. A lot of the lady. Very, very dirty. I think you're talking about looking at the pictures I posted, right? I mean, the videos I played. Yeah, very dirty. And that is what we want to change. We want to change everything that has to do with us. Yep. Obris Dishes. Thank you for that. Eliezer Thomas says Fulani Marauders from Futa Jalon. Not just Futa Jalon, there's Futa, there are many Futas. There are about 4 Futas also. I've forgotten their names. Futa Bundu. They have Futa Bundu. They have Futa Jalon. They have under Futa something, and all those places that they came from. Such kinds of people coming to control sane human beings. And people are endorsing marauders. You know what it means to be a marauder? A criminal, someone who comes to steal from you, who comes to kill you and to steal from you. Not just nomads carrying cattle around. No, their intention is to harm you and take what belongs to you. Rodney says, thanks to Biafrans for these sacrifices, the glory of the later Biafra shall be greater than the former. God save the King, MNK and MSC, Autopilot, ESN, all Biafrans. He said, thank you so much for that, my brother Rodney. Thank you. We have a message from Elias again. They must pack out of our land. We're not Fulani jihadist oligarchy who are not Islam. We are Christians and Jews. And that's the fact. We cannot deny ourselves for them to take us for granted. I and my entire family stand with Mazi Samanepa and Autopilot, Biafra Worldwide. Thank you so much, BMO. And we all are standing with him strongly. I've been complaining about this YouTube doctor for over 3 years. He just hated him. He just hates MNK. He's a YouTube doctor indeed, and all of that. Rebecca Sharon, thank you so much for the love. Love to you too. Hello everyone. Kathy Nwabweze, thank you so much for your message. Also, a lot of the ladies say Chidi is cunning, not confused. He knows what he's doing. Yes, he is. He knows what he's doing, even if he's cunning. No, cunning doesn't mean that the person doesn't know what they're doing. They are cunning. That is why they know what they're doing. They are cunning, and that's why they know what they're doing. And because it's God, they know what they're doing. That's why they play the conning aspect of it, you know. So the conning does not change the fact that he knows what he's doing. He tries to be cunning, and he thinks, and he keeps shooting himself on the foot. And he begins to talk message of yesterday. He was saying that he's intelligent, and I was wondering why he had to tell us that he's intelligent when he actually was behaving very unintelligently, arguing about a foundation. Now, how can you tell me to come and vote for somebody who is going to swear an oath to something that has no foundation? And you said you believe that the person can do it. Now, let me say this. Even when you want to restructure a building that is already erected, let's say, for instance, Nigeria has a structure, you know, and it has a foundation that is strong. Even when you want to restructure the building, you know, you don't restructure the building by first being inside the building to restructure it. No. You will go out of the building, access first of all, you look into the building, access the details of the internal, and then you come out of it, access, and then you draft. When you draft distance, you come out of the building. Now, when you come out of the building, the places that need to be brought down, the things that need to be done, will be done. And those who are going to be doing it are the professionals who are going to enter into the building to do it. You cannot live with your family in the building, and at the same time, they are carrying out a huge, massive restructuring of the building. You might endanger the life of your family and you. So what you need to do is pack your things out of the building, get your family out of the building. Then the professionals go in and restructure, demolish where they have to demolish, set everything that have to be set, and rebuild it. Then you pack in again. That is how restructuring is done. You don't tell me that we have to organize an election to restructure or to call for referendum. It doesn't make sense. That means you're telling us we should pack into the house. When we pack into the house, then we start restructuring. What if the house crushes on us? We have to pack out of the house. And then from outside, we can be, you the professionals will be inside, discussing the matter, fixing where it have to be fixed, and all of that. And then when you come out, you give us details. This is what we have done. This is how far we've gone. Don't worry, the house will be ready soon. And then we outside will be preparing. Yes, the house will be ready soon. Before we go in, you don't tell us to get into the house when the restructuring work is supposed to begin. So that is what it means. So Chidi and Co are flawed when they are talking about voting for somebody. You are telling everybody to get into the house to restructure the house. No, we have to get out of the house for the house to be restructured. It's as simple as that. I don't know whether we are getting this narrative. We really get this narrative. I don't know whether I think this is a very simple narrative for people to understand. If you are living in a building now, and then they want to do a work on the roof, they want to change the roof, would you still leave your property in the room, sit in the room, put your TV on, put your children on, and put your children around, all of you cross your legs and watching TV, and they are removing the roofs? Lord have mercy. Does it happen? No. You and your family will go out of the house. You take some of you take all your properties out of the house. Then the people who are going to do the restructuring will come, fix the roof, do everything they have to do, fix everywhere they have to fix, clean the place, and then you get in again. There's no way you can stay outside, stay in, and that kind of work will be going on. You want to die? Or you want to be injured? When you talk about election, before you begin to talk about your freedom again, or before you begin to ask for referendum, or to even ask for that stupid restructuring that will not even work, which is why they came to kill us in 1967, because of restructuring. If you try it, it's not going to work. Anybody who is come to swear an oath to that constitution will not leave that constitution until they leave that office. Because it is only according to the oath they have sworn that they make their money. They need to maintain that constitution operated by the caliphate to make more money for themselves, because the caliphate is in charge of the constitution, and that constitution is an Islamic project to take over the indigenous nations. As simple as that. Good afternoon, Mazi Kelechi. Thank you, Uzamaka. Nicholas, thank you so much. Good to have you here. I've been expecting your message too, because I know you will always send message when you come here. King Bobo from Haiti, son. Haiti. Black Allen. King Bobo from Haiti, son. Okay? All the way from Haiti. Good to have you, Black Allen. He's an Uber driver turned homeless preacher for free. Let's leave that guy. The guy is just brainless. He got white kids. Of course, that's why he's there ranting. He feels that he has gotten what he has to get. So he wants Nigeria to continue the way it is, so that he will just all he will do every day is to come to social media and keep talking, then making money on his making money from it and having viewers everywhere. That's what he wants. Let the talk continue. Let the people be at home keep suffering. Brother Kelechi Ambrose, did you know that the King James Version was written by wicked Queen Elizabeth, grandfather King James the First? The King James Version was not written by him. Was the interpretation done by him from the Hebrew manuscript. It was not his interpretation. It was not his words. He only interpreted it into, it's just like one idiot that came out recently and said he has translated the Quran to Igbo language. That doesn't mean that the Quran, the words of the Quran belong to him. He only did translation. So the translation of the King James is that of the English language, but that doesn't mean that the narrative of the original Hebrew script changed. The narrative of the original Hebrew script is still the same. You understand it? So it is not about the translation, but about the originality of the document. It doesn't use deodorant. Black Allen, you have come with another narrative. So it doesn't use deodorant. Chidi doesn't use deodorant. Oh my God. Joshua Umebosi, all hail Biafra. Thank you so much, Joshua, for being here. Aubrey's Dish says, just thinking aloud how the British managed to create and deceive Zeke and others. Because of their greed, because they are, you can imagine that a group of people are brought together by some people that they see as superior. They went to their country, they learned, they got education from their country, they were indoctrinated by their own education, they were told that they are going to be given leadership positions, they are told that they are going to make a moment. They imagine themselves ruling people, having some kind of powers. So that made them so excited that anything that the British tell them, because they now know that the British now are in control. They have already created Nigeria and they run Nigeria. So under Nigeria, it is a business opportunity for them. And as business opportunity for them, they need to submit to the details and the dictates of these colonial masters who composed Nigeria, whose intention was business. They already saw the document. That was a company. And the company is now running other nations like the company. So the nations become the products, the raw materials to finance or to sustain the business name of that company, Nigeria. That's why Oduduwa Nation is now a business, is now a program for Nigeria. Biafra Nation, a program for Nigeria. Hausa Nation, a program for Nigeria. So all of them became program being run in the computer of Nigeria to safeguard and secure the selfish mandate of the owners of Nigeria, including the Stooges. There's a video from where the emperors serving us saved Britain, a black African, which they hid history. Look how Britain's slave killed Biafrans, Oduduwa, indigenous people, the children of this emperor. Okay, you're talking about that black emperor, the British emperor, the black British emperor. Of course, they will not publicize that. Even the image, I think the image is also there, in UK also, or in Britain also, the image of that man. But they did, the image was put in a way that you wouldn't understand that he's a black emperor, and was originally a black emperor, I think from Ethiopia or something, I can't remember. And somehow he got into Britain. I've forgotten the story, the narrative there, and he got into Britain. And along the line, he helped them save, he fought battles for them and all of that. He became the emperor. And all of that. And no, those narratives are not talked about, but the truth about it is that in the archives and in the video is everywhere. I'm going to go listen to it again. I have the video in this system also. I'm going to go listen to it again to get facts about it, because I will probe into the issue of that emperor now, because for me, I was just saying that's one of those things, let it go. Anyways, we are talking about ourselves. But the truth here, and Rodney, thank you for reminding me that, that Black Emperor, they refuse to acknowledge him. They don't talk about him, because they don't want to give the Africa people some kind of kudos. He's a sex offender in Haiti, Ohio. Oh my God, Black Allen. Well, that's his private life. At least they should have arrested him there. I don't have details into all those information. So that's not my own concern. Is that he is a liar, he is a manipulator, and he is against the spirit of Biafra. And the spirit of Biafra will hunt him down, and he's going to get into trouble. Jude Wonsu, well done, brother. Thank you so much, Jude Wonsu. I appreciate you. Biafra or Biafra, and that's it. The options available: Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. Option A, Biafra. Option B, Biafra. Option C, Biafra. Everything is Biafra. Dudu Kings, West Side G Kings. No election in Biafra motherland. No Senegal man in Biafra motherland. Full stop. Senegal. What's in Senegal? I didn't get that. But I know you're saying no election anyways in Biafra land. Remain blessed. Obiezwe Mike, okay. Obiezwe Mike, okay. Remain blessed. Thank you so much. Sorry, when you see the word, sometimes you want to pronounce it like English, but I have to look at it and pronounce it well. So I'm sorry, please, for modern that. Good day, Brocklechi. As usual, I'm at work. Yes, Mrs. Adozan is at work. Thank you so much for joining. And I know that always when you're at work, you always look forward to the program, and you always be here, to encourage. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Katia. Let me pronounce it the way it says. Katia. I am thinking, since you can't help our refugees. UN can't help our refugees. How can UN help? They can't help themselves. How can they help the refugees? They want more refugees so that they will keep talking about they'll keep talking about giving us aid. There's a particular stuff I posted yesterday, and I want to post it again today. We steal 100% of their resources. Give them 1%. Give them 1%. Give them 1% and call it foreign aid. They steal, then they give you 1% to call it foreign aid. They steal your resources. They give you 1% of it and call it foreign aid. You can imagine that. You can imagine that. Can't you imagine that, everyone? Steal the resources, give us 1% and call it foreign aid. And our people are very happy being in that kind of situation. And Katia, you said, can we organize our own refugee? We don't need a refugee. We don't need a refugee in our land. We're looking for our freedom. We're looking for our freedom. We don't need refugee. We're not supposed to be refugees. Are we going to be refugees forever? No, we don't. We're not going to be refugees. We're going to get our freedom. How about the foundation? Okay, talking about the narrative I gave the other time. The foundation is baseless. Magically, I will send you a message on your WhatsApp now, and we talk about it later, please. Okay, Diana, please do that. Send it, and then we'll talk about it. Send it, please. Katia says we need to identify countries that are our friends. Okay, you're always looking at refugee situation, right, Katia? Don't worry, we're not going to have refugee situation as it will be as you're thinking, because with the way we're going to tactically do this war, fight back this war that they have brought to us, we'll make sure that we secure ourselves in a way that we're not going to have ourselves running away from our land. No, it's not going to happen. All hail Biafra. Amechi Jonas, thank you. Good to have you again, Amechi Jonas. It's been a while I saw you here anyways. Got the example: Burundi, no. Gambia, no. Senegal, no. Chad, no. Cameroon, no. We are not going to be refugees, my brother. Katia, I think Katia should be a lady also. We're not going to be refugees, so let's not go there. We're not planning to be refugees. Obioma Elekwachi, good to have you here. Good day, Kelechi. More grace to you and our brother ASM. God bless you and protect all. He said, thank you, my brother. Obioma, I think this is it a lady, or because this picture always confused me. I've forgotten whether a lady or a guy, And Elias Thomas says Brakechi is British coming to help the zoo in their time this time around. They've been helping them. Are they not the ones They are the ones giving them the strategic plan and program. They are the ones giving them everything. They are giving them weapons too. They are the ones telling them where to write and get weapons. They are the ones they have helping. They are supporting them. All these weapons you see Fulanis carry, all these sophisticated weapons, NATO standard weapons. You see Fulani, those hungry Fulani guys carrying now first. You think they got it? You think Britain and co don't know where those weapons are coming from? They know where the weapons are coming from. But it is the Nigeria state that is buying it officially using the name Nigeria. That's why I say Nigeria is a business name. They use the Nigeria name as a country that they have called it to buy this weapon. So it is registered officially where they are buying them as weapons to the so-called country, Nigeria. And then they now send it to where they want to send it. So that name, Nigeria, becomes the official criminal program or criminal image that helps cover the criminality. That's why it's a brand, like they did in the First World. They are doing that already. They are giving them logistics. They are giving them, ideas. They are giving them every backing they need. You will see them whenever somebody is killed. Whenever something happens in the north, they will come out and say, when it has to do with something that concerns, maybe doing something against the Nigeria contraption, they'll come and that woman, Katrina Lang or whatever she's called, she'll come out and make a statement. But the killings of Biafran people, she had not made statements. She doesn't say anything about it. So they have been giving them logistics and support and everything that they need. They are doing it until now. Katia says we must now identify our country friends before we run into the hands of our enemies. We are not going to be refugees, my sister. We are already having diplomatic conversation with these nations, and not because we're looking for where to send people as refugees. No, but because we are looking to continue business talks, business activities with them. So the diplomatic fronts we are opening right now is not for how we're going to be refugees. Katia, it is not, I think Katia should be catering or something. It is not for refugee status or the issue of refugees. You understand? So, Katia, don't think that way. It's not because of refugee status we're going to have friends. No, the friendship we're having is for business and diplomatic ties. Katia, because Fulanis are all over in these enemies. In this enemy, no countries. Yes, we're not discussing a refugee status with anybody. We are not refugees. We are bona fide Biafrans. We're not planning to be refugees in any country. So we're not going to discuss issue of refugee. So we're discussing diplomatic things. Oduduwa says King James translated the King James version. Yes, that's the version. It utilized the original, Hebrew, manuscript to translate into the English, King James English then. So that's it. Katia says, can you give us the list of countries that are our enemies and the ones that are our friends? Katia, you're very funny. Since you're just we have lots of countries that we're discussing with. We are still discussing diplomatically. Some countries are in relation with us and they are discussing privately. They are not coming all out until when we come all out to declare our fighting back the Fulanis for the war they have brought. Then they will now come all out. So it is not on social media where we'll now start talking about who is our friend and who is not our friend. No, that's not how it is done. We have the countries who we are discussing with. We know the responses they have given to us. We know what is on ground, and we're running with the template. We are getting more diplomatic connections. We are discussing more. We are discussing deeper, and all of these facts are going on. So the issue of who is our friend and who is not our friend on social media does not come to play. These are there are some things that you don't come to social media to discuss. And this one is our friend. This one is not our friend. No, it's not done that way. So Katia, just calm down. Things are going on very, very strongly behind the scene that you will wonder. You say, wow, we're not just sitting down folding our hands. Great works are being done on the ground, diplomatically with nations and diplomatically with organizations and all of that. So it is just beyond. It's not because It's not something of social media that come to talk about who is your friend and who is not your friend. Lots of things are going on. So just believe that the people running the affairs of Biafra know what they're doing. They have information. They are moving with the information. They are moving with the details and all of that. Mighty Dot says the Bible and many history books are written by the reptilians and from another planet that have been controlling this world from beyond the Atlantic. They have been using the West to run the show. Oh Lord, have mercy, people have so many funny description of the scripture. So the Bible was written by reptilians. So Moses was a reptilian. Moses that led Israel, then Israel, you know, today out of Egypt, it was a reptilian, right? Because he wrote the first 5 books or the Pentateuch. Formerly, originally, they were 1 book. Then they were divided, you know, to be the Pentateuch, which is 5, you know. Are you saying Moses also is a reptilian, or Joshua, or David, who wrote the Psalms and all of that? All these guys are reptilians. Reptilians. My brother, please stop reading all these books written by men who were just born today. They were born today and they are telling you things about happened over 4,000 years ago. Telling you that those who wrote books 4,000 years ago, just like tomorrow now, somebody will come and tell you that this person now who wrote this book that you read, telling you about the reptilians, you know, is also from maybe they'll tell you that he's from the line of the dinosaurs. That's why he wrote that book. And then those generations now will begin to say, yes, that's true. The person who wrote this book is from the line of the dinosaurs. Please leave all those narratives. Read the Bible and understand the Bible very well. And then read books that make sense. Don't read all these books of these atheists and all these guys who are trying to corrupt the program of God for humanity. Then are you going to say God also never called Moses? Moses was a reptilian, so he was not called by God. He's from another planet. He wasn't born in Egypt and put in a basket and put on the river Nile, and then he was seen by Pharaoh's daughter and taken as a son, and then trained by Moses' mother, not knowing Pharaoh's daughter, not knowing that that's the mother, and she trained him, and then, you know, gave him over to Egypt, and then before you know it, he now came to the point of delivering Egypt. So those who wrote the Bible are not reptilians, please. That's a very big blunder. Even common sense will tell you that that's not it. The nations that are talked about in the Bible are nations in this world, and the people have historic facts on this world. So it's not a reptilian stuff. You might belong to a cult that is reptilian. We have reptilian cults, of course. We know all those cults, you know, and those cults are in 5,000 years ago. They never existed. It's just like you're talking about Illuminati and all of that. They never existed 5,000 years ago. But there have been cults. There have been this Babylonian cult that's metamorphosis, you know, in different nations, coming up in different tactics, using the same principles of the Babylonian cult instituted by Nimrod, but converting it to their own culture and way of life to make meaning in their own way of directing, controlling, and directing the affairs of their own nations. So that doesn't mean that because we had that Nimrod cult, and then everything that happens in the Bible was part of reptilian program. Please, Katia, I mean African countries, Katia. So I've answered your question, Katia. And so, but our own ancestors are coming to stop them. Our true identity will be restored soon, and Biafra is the major key. We're not coming to stop any reptilian people. We're coming to restore our nation, Biafra. And we know our origin already from the line of Jacob. From the line of Jacob, and when Jacob went to Egypt. So when he went to Egypt, before even Egypt, before the children of Israel started suffering in Egypt, Eri had left with his 2 brothers and other people. They have left and they have come to this place and they have started establishing. Before even Israel started suffering in Egypt, they have left. They had left. So we are not coming to restore true human and to destroy the Bible. No, because we are from the Bible too. Our lineage is from the same Bible, from Moses, from Abraham, and we are from the same lineage. So it has nothing to do with any reptile or anything somewhere, you know. So my brother, calm down, and Mighty Dot, calm down. Rodney Nathaniel, General Boratai, sabotage President Goodluck and swap Nigeria army for Boko Haram. You can say sabotage because in Nigeria, it is normally understood to be illegal. In fact, it was even strange. The strange thing you should understand here is this. Nigeria itself is already a corrupt program designed by the British as a panel to be fused into the computer of their corruption and all of that. Now, those who come to want to govern or to be presidents under the auspices of Nigeria are the ones that should be questioned, not the Nigeria agents. Because we already know that the Nigeria agents are already criminals and corrupt. So President Jonathan got himself involved in that corruption. And he believes that he is right, or he believes that he is not corrupt, but yet he joined corruption. How can I now, for instance, I say I'm not a corrupt person, I now go to contest position under Nigeria? How am I going to contest position under a corrupt entity when I know that now that I have this information about Nigeria, I know what Nigeria is? I will never, in my right sense, go to do anything with Nigeria or go to seek for any position, because I know Nigeria is corruption. So if I go to seek position under corruption, it means that I want to register to be part of the corruption. That's what it means. So Goodluck Jonathan is the one who wanted to sabotage, or if we have to use that word, no, let's not use the word sabotage, because sabotage is already a corrupt word. So Goodluck Jonathan is actually the one who went into a corrupt system to get himself to become part of the corruption. So he got himself to join corruption and to be a criminal. And he was there for 6 years or 8 years, of course, even after being a governor. So anybody who goes there is the one we are going to now look at as corrupt, not the Nigeria, because Nigeria is an epitome of corruption already. Just like somebody says, when you are calling liars, when you're calling thieves and robbers, why don't you call the devil? You say, no, the devil is already the foundation of the foundation of all of these things. So you don't call him, you call other people. So it's going to swap their Nigeria army for Boko Haram. It is part of the program, Rodney. This is part of the Abuja Declaration program. The armies of all these nations are supposed to be the foot soldiers for the spreading of Islam. So what Buratai was doing was the program already designed in 1989, and also even before 1989, of which the Arab world instituted the Fulanis to carry out, and of which Usman Danfodio brought it to the west side of Africa. So the program of Buratai here is part of the program that has been there. Jonathan just came with one kind of program, thinking that he was thinking like someone who thinks that he wants to bring about change in Nigeria, or thinking that he is coming to a system that belongs to him, not knowing that he is put in a system that does not belong to him, in the guise that they want to make it look like he belongs to him, and so that it's other people also who are from him, the Biafra people, will think also that it belongs to them, so that they will be playing along until they overwhelm everybody. So when they talk about you making you VP, vice president, or giving you position of presidency, it is not because the contraption Nigeria belongs to you. It is because they have to make you play along with them. Because when they make you vice president or president or all of that, you would be playing along. You'll be getting along, thinking that it is about everybody. It is about one Nigeria until you are crushed. That is the plan. So Buratai and Co, I bet all of them, they already have the program. They know what is on ground. So let's Rose Chi says, my blood Biafra brother. Chukokike, bless you. I love your work in this fight. Move on. I work along with you. I walk along with you. Okay, thank you so much, Rose Chi. Thank you. I appreciate you, Rose Chi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please keep me informed to reach you. All right, no problems. You can reach me anytime on the WhatsApp number, +212 707 898-194 +212 707 898-194 +212 707 898-194. If anyone wants to call now, you may not be able to. I think I have a particular phone I got to from somewhere for people to reach today. So you can call in now while the number is available. If you want to call in and you have something to say, you want to talk about here, you are free to call in to the program right now, and then air your view and your mind on this particular issue. Yes, I'm a lady. Okay, Katia, okay, I pray we won't have to run away. No, we're not going to run away. Your tongue is sweet. I hope so. No, my tongue is sweet. Oh my God. Oh my God, Katia. Catherine, my tongue is not sweet. It's sweet for the truth, not to deceive. My tongue is not to deceive. I'm not deceiving you, because if I deceive you, I deceive myself. And I told you when I started, I said, at my age, if I begin to deceive myself here and not tell myself the truth, then something is wrong with me. I cannot get to the age of Obiozo and still telling myself lies. At this age, from now, I have to begin to tell myself the truth, so that it is not when I get closer to the grave and I'll begin to think of how I'm going to mend fences or try to repair the damaged image and all of that, and then deceive myself. No, now I tell myself the truth. That is why I'm fighting for freedom, because I'm telling myself the truth. So British is SP, Eliza Thomas, SP. I wish I know I am a lady watching from London. All hail Biafra. Oh, wow. Okay. Obioma Lekwachi. Yeah. I think I remember you talked about being a lady before. Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Obioma. Good to have you all the way from London. Thank you, Obioma Lekwachi. Elias Thomas says British is sponsoring a terrorist jihad from federal government, but they are pretending to defend democracy in Ukraine. That is it. That is the manipulation. It is part of the Takia. All of these people are running the Takia program. How do you know that the Bible is true? How do you know that the story of Bible is true? It's a story you were told. And tomorrow also, in the next 100 years, people will be asking whether you are true. Did anybody like Mighty Dot come from our family? How do we know that Mighty Dot is true? When the facts are on ground that the Bible is true. The nation of Israel is existing today, and the history, Egypt have not denied the fact that they enslaved Moses and enslaved Israel. There's stories everywhere in the Bible, and no time Egypt have come to say that, oh, there was no time in our history when Israel was in our nation and we enslaved them. Israel was used to be the pyramid. You do know that that pyramid is still there to today. Israel was used to build that pyramid. That's an evidence. The pyramid in Egypt. Nations have come. The Babylonian Empire was there. Nebuchadnezzar existed and built and was the king of Babylon. I mean, the empire of the Babylonian Empire. And there are evidences of the kings of Babylon, including Nebuchadnezzar, and it's in the Bible. There's the Assyrian Empire. We know the story of Solomon building the temple. Today we are talking about the temple space or ground where the Al-Aqsa Mosque has been built in Israel, but formerly the Solomon's temple was there, and the temple built by what's his name now, Ezra and other people. The place is still there. The records are there. Nobody's disputing that. All the parts of Israel, even Christ, the instruments, the cross, the activities where Christ was buried, all these things are located in Israel. These are evidences. So how do you say it's true? Are you going to say now that you writing this now, 200 years from now, somebody says, how do we know that you are true? From what you have done, from this your write-up, they'll bring it up tomorrow. He wrote this when he was alive. That's how you know what is true. There are evidences. Everything written in the Bible, I can tell you now. I've told myself I'm going to start them from after next Sunday. I'm going to start teaching on the eschatology. From then, you'll begin to understand the trueness of the Bible. Do you know that everything you see in the Bible has come to pass? And they were prophesied thousands of years ago. Yet they have come to pass. The only thing that is left to come to pass is the return of Christ, the second coming. That's what is left. When we begin the eschatology, you will understand what I'm saying. So you don't say, are you saying your ancestors never lived? So because your ancestors, you never saw them, somebody told you about them, they are not true because somebody told you? Come on. Let's be smart. When you read something, go find out. For the fact that somebody now wrote in a book that you don't mind this book, this was not true. Now you now dwell on that is why we need to be intellectuals, not just academicians. Because if you're an intellectual, when somebody puts down an information based on their own academic or intellectual disposition or trying to manipulate those they are going to make praise, you, through your intellectual capacity, will make research more into the facts to get the truth of the matter. And then you can make your right submission. Very, very important. Esther Ofidon. It's a long time, Esther Ofidon. Where have you been? Where have you been? I'm going to sanction you, Esther. Just joking, but it's been a while anyways. Where have you been? Greetings, Kelechi. Thank you and the other autopilots for your resilience, and may the Lord continue to guide and uplift you. He said, thank you so much, Esther Fidon, for that prayer. Biafra, FTech, the land of Biafra will marvel the world with technologies. Yes, and we need to do that under our sovereignty. Real winner, good to have you again today. Greetings, Magic Kelechi. Thanks for the lecture. Thank you so much. I appreciate you too. Thank you. Rafkatia again. Therefore, Obi is playing along with the Fulani. He's only deceiving us. He's deceiving himself. He cannot deceive us. We know the truth. We have overshadowed our father. Okay, by praying in the name of creation of the West. That's why Africa and the blacks are still suffering all over. What do you call the name of the creation of the West? Are you talking about Jesus? Jesus is not the creation of the West. The history is there. It's from the nation you are from. That Israel you are talking about. That you say you trace your your ancestors. That's Israel. That is where Jesus is from. He's a Jew. Jesus is a Jew. Mighty Dot. I wish I know your real name. Jesus is a Jew. So he's not the Western creation. If West want to create it, they will create it in their own nation. But they are using the information of Jesus to manipulate you in a religious way. That is where the problem is. Not because the story of Jesus is not true. But understand it. They use the right story of Jesus to now deceive you. That means to paint a picture of what they want to portray to you as religion. Messi Wala, thank you so much. Greetings, Mazi. Thank you. I appreciate you for joining. Just to deceive you. Not because Jesus is not real, but because the story of Jesus is strong enough and effective enough to design a religious program that can be used to manipulate you through the various religions, institutions, and denominations called different names where they operate from. How are you doing, brother? Thank you so much, Seth. I'm doing fine. Wanoche, thank you. I'm doing fine. Sure, you too. You're fine. I have slight puzzle as Mighty Dot. I agree all that is written in the Bible happened, but still don't think it has anything related to us. So how that means you're not from Israel, because everything written in the Bible is about Israel, concerning Israel. God bless you all. And John Almeida, everything written in the Bible concerns Israel, and we have the authority that we are from the nation Israel, from the line of God. So how come it doesn't concern you if everything that happened to you until God left Egypt is part of you? How come you don't believe what you are from? You don't believe your source. Are you saying we're not Jews, we're not from the source Eri, as is told, the fourth son of God? Are you saying we're not? If you say we're not the fourth son of God, good. Give us where we are from. Then if we are from God, then we are part of the Bible until Eri left Egypt. So we have been always there. Everything in the book is part of us. If we are the sons, the children of Eri, of God, the seventh son of Jacob, and Eri, the fourth son of God. Why God, the seventh son of Jacob. So if we are from God, it simply means we are of the Bible. It's as simple as that, because the Bible is the history of Israel in connection with God, their experience with God. So if you say we are not, everything that happened to the Bible has nothing to do with us, then where is our origin? If you say our origin is from Israel, then why are you now saying that we're not, everything happened in the Bible is not of us? You see, let's not contradict ourselves. Let's face reality. Let's reason. We're intellectuals. We are not Nigerians. So let's reason. Let's reason. I want you to send your messages. Let's reason. If you want to call in, you call in. +212 707 898 194. Talk to us. Let's reason. If you say we're not from Israel, Eri is not our father, and we have nothing connected to that, then tell us where we are from. Give us your evident history of our source. But as much as I know and the research I've made, we are from Eri, and Eri is the son of God, the son of Jacob. which means that if Jacob is the son of Isaac and Isaac the son of Abraham, then we are part of the Bible. Then if we are part of the Bible, then how come you're telling me now that we are not part of the Bible because everything that happened in the Bible is not about us when we are from the lions of Abraham? Unless you are telling us we're not from the lions of Abraham, then tell us where we are from and give us the evidence of where we are from. Let me check the next message, because I want to get you. If you want to call in, you call in. Let's talk about this, because you know I don't avoid anything that has to do with religion and Christianity and the Bible. I don't avoid it. I want to speak about it because I know I can defend very well with common sense and at the same time with scripture. My interpretation is that the zero longitude and zero latitude of the world is Biafra, where Jesus comes from. Jesus does not come from Biafra.
3, 2, 3.
Jesus does not come from Biafra.
Oh.
Let's stop all this narrative. Jesus does not come from Biafra. Hello, you're welcome to the program live on Biafra Global Network. Please, you may go on. I think the network signal is poor. You might go on if you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me. Please go on. You are live. Can you hear me? Oh, it's disconnected. I think there's a problem there. You can call back anyways. So my interpretation is that the zero longitude and zero latitude of the Bible of the world is Biafra land, where Jesus comes from. How did Jesus come from Biafra land? There's a place where Jesus was born, Bethlehem. It's called Bethlehem. Bethlehem means house of bread. Where in Biafra land is Bethlehem? Hello, you are live on the program, live on Biafra Global Network. You are live. Please go on.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, my brother. Please
go
on.
Evening, sir.
Good evening. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Live and direct.
Oh, so my name is Thomas Eliezer.
All right.
Calling from Accra.
Oh, wow.
Calling from Accra.
Good to hear your voice. Yes, go on, please.
It's been a while. Nice to talk with you again.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Nice talking to you again.
Thank you for calling in. Thank you for calling in.
I was listening to that World Igbo Congress yesterday.
Okay.
The conversation between Chidi and the World Igbo Congress. You can see that Chidi has total disrespect for our freedom, for what we are doing. He has total disrespect for Mazi Simon.
That's right.
He doesn't know that guy is more intelligent and more, important to Biafrans more than him.
That's right.
I don't even know him. He's an irrelevant human being.
Of course.
I just got to know him when he was calling the Finland police to arrest Mazi Simon. When he was reporting the Mazi to Finland police or Finland embassy, that is when I got to know him.
Yeah, that's why I got to know him too.
He's inconsequential to us. We don't know him. You understand? He's talking about, he was even saying that whenever Mazi Simon brings up something like sit at home, they should also invent their own. They should also bring out their own order. When he gives any order, they should cancel the order.
Very well.
You heard him yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So that guy is an evil guy.
Yes.
That's it. And I want to say something concerning the religion of a thing. Christianity is real. Jesus is real.
Yes.
The Bible is real.
Yes.
But the West are, contradicting it. The Western countries, especially like the Britain. They were the one who brought the Anglican Church.
Very well. They brought the Roman Catholic Church. They brought the Anglican Church.
That's right. They were the one who brought the Anglican Church. And the Anglican Church fought against Biafra in the Civil War.
Very well.
Did you know that?
Yes,
they were
very
against
well.
us.
Very
they never give us aid. It was only the Catholic, the Methodists, and other churches that are not British, that doesn't have any affiliation with British.
Yes.
That helped us during the war.
Yes.
The Catholic Church of England, which is the Anglican, were totally against us.
Of course.
That's why I don't even take Anglicans as a church. I will never go to Anglicans. I will never visit. Even my leg will never even touch in their auditorium. Not at all. Because they were part of those who massacred my parents during the Civil War. So I will never forgive the British. I will never, anything that has anything to do with the British, I totally disassociate myself with it. And I want to tell that young man that is saying that the Bible is a lie. It's not a lie. all what is in the Bible is true, but the words are complicating everything. Jesus came to set the captive free.
That's correct.
He came to give us life. But the British came to put us in bondage. They brought religion as a tool to put us in slavery, to make us to remain enslaved under the jihadist planning. They want us to remain slaves in Nigeria. So the British, everything that Jesus Christ came to do for us, the British, they were, let me say, they are the opposite of it. They came to steal from us, they came to kill us, and they came to destroy us.
That's it.
Are you hearing the two different
things? Very correct. You're correct.
That is why it's because of what the British are doing to us. That is why some of our people are being discouraged. Let me say they are discouraged about Christianity because of what the British are a Christian country and they have never stood for us. They have been fighting against us. They have even been suppressing us for the Muslims who are in the north. So do you see the reason why some of our people are coming against Christianity?
Yes, that's it.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, that's it. Correct.
Do you see the reason? But that is the reason why some of our people are against Christianity. But on a normal day, Christianity is a good religion. Christianity is not bad. The Bible is true. Everything written in the Bible is true. But what Jesus Christ represents, the West doesn't represent it. They are evil. People that can come on the altar and, wed a man and a man together. In the Western culture, I heard they are doing it.
Very
in
well.
America, they are doing it. They even wed. I heard that they are wedding male and male, that a pastor will come to the altar and wed the two of them as a gay.
Very well.
And I also heard that, can you hear me?
Very well, I can hear you. You have 1 minute more.
Where I am, the place I am is very noisy.
Yeah.
That's why you can't get me clearly. I'm being distracted a little.
Okay.
I wanted to say that even the Catholic, the Pope, I heard that he signed the gay law. He supported it. He was in support of it. So you can see that the Western countries are the ones giving us they are giving bad image to Christianity. Because they are, especially this present generation, they are against everything. Their image doesn't represent Christianity at all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for that submission. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your day. You made fantastic points. So that's it. Greatly submitted. Adazayan says I should ignore, that she has had personal conviction, revelation about Christ, and that if you want to get that conviction, pray, and you'll get the revelation. All the way from the US, I have a call. You're welcome live and direct to the program. Thank you so much. You can go on.
Hello.
Yes, please. You can go on. You're live and direct.
Yeah,
Yes, my brother. You're welcome. Can you hear me?
I always like to tune into your program.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Anytime I hear your audition with the media team, Photopilot media team, I always love to tune in because you have a great analysis. The way you analyze stuff is top notch.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
Yeah, but I am Mighty Ducks.
Okay.
And I was the one testing those things.
Of course.
I grew up in Catholic Church.
Okay.
At the point I was aspiring to be a priest.
Okay.
Before I left that country.
Okay.
So when it comes to spirituality and all these things, I have seen it. I have been there. When I came to this country, my eyes begin to open. I begin to experience a great awakening. I begin to evolve because we, as the people, we're supposed to evolve as we grow in age. We're supposed to evolve mentally, spiritually, in every aspect of our life. It's like an upgrade, the way computers are being upgraded. So when I'm saying what I'm saying, I'm speaking from what I've seen. The internet is there for a reason. This world today is a global world where you can get information different. It's not about somebody said, it's visual information. If you look at everywhere, right now, in South America, in Africa, in different places, great things are happening. People are sighting objects in the sky. American government right now, the Department of Defense, they have upgraded their website. They add the symbol of extraterrestrial objects, aliens, their crafts. They are beginning to declassify information. In America, go and look, search it. Declassify information about aliens. They are beginning to accept that they exist. The reason why they've been denying this thing for many years, so that when people start seeing these things, or when they release this information, people will start questioning about religion. They will begin to say everything we know about religion is not true. If this Bible is true, how come these aliens, the Bible did not talk about them, this extraterrestrial being? Oh, we thought we are the only one existing. These things are out there right now. If you want, I will send you videos. Things are happening. But we in Africa, we don't even care because we have been
Mighty Dot,
suffering and hardship.
Mighty Dot, let me tell you.
So
you see when it comes to
let me say this before you talk.
Okay,
let me say this before you
go on.
So when I'm telling you what I'm telling you, it's not that I'm naive or that you talk about our ancestors don't exist. Oh, Israel is not real. That Israel, that place, every story, the story about Israel, they have twisted it and turned it upside down. The Egyptians, the actual owners of Egypt, these are our people. We own Egypt. We own Israel. I'm not talking about per se that we migrated or do. We own it. The people who are living there right now, they are not the owners of that land called Israel. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. We own the whole planet. Here in America, there are hundreds of pyramids in America, not only in Egypt. We own America. Amazonian women are the owners of California here in America. They changed the seal of the queen that was ruling California to a white man's picture. Listen, if you go to this Grand Canyon, they are discovering mummies. The same thing being discovered in Egypt. The history of our people are there. In Kansas City, there's a cave. They saw our people. A cave that the history of our people was being painted all over inside the cave. After black that comes to pilgrimage there. So everything, we own this whole planet. I'm not disputing with you that our ancestors did not exist. Our ancestors existed. I said that the Bible was written to keep us in line and to hold us down. The same people that wrote the Bible are the same people who are oppressing us for centuries. How can something good come from these people who have, look, the evidence are there. They fed our children to alligators. They lynched our people. The same thing Fulani are doing to us. These people did it to us and turn around and still brought a good news of heaven to us.
Mighty Dot.
How can such, don't you see the contradiction?
Mighty Dot. It's going to take me a long lesson to actually respond to everything you said, but by God's grace, I'm going to be responding to them from this Sunday. But the truth about it is that you talk about heavenly beings now that are called aliens in our time. Talk about heavenly beings. The Bible categorically states and talks about heavenly beings. Their words are not used as aliens as we have them today, but Scripture stipulates these beings occupying other ancestors. What do you call them now? Other heavenly beings, other planets. Scripture states them, angelic beings that are existing in other aspects of the cosmos. So they are clearly stated in Scripture. Very clearly stated in Scripture.
Some of these things are not heavenly beings. They are not. I mean, they are not angelic.
When you talk about angels, it doesn't mean somebody who has wings. Angels.
No. Even the angel has been. The story about how the angel look. Oh, they look all these beautiful beings with wings. That's not the true identity of angels.
No,
Some people see angels today, they will freak out to death. Angels don't look like the way they are being talked about, or all these pictures you see around.
No,
so what I'm saying is that these angels, the true angels, they actually exist in our land. My brother Kelechi, let me say this. I'm not trying to interrupt you. The angels that our Creator, the OKK, sent down to guide us, to be with us, we chase them away. They were there in our forests, in our land, all over. We turn against them. When the religion came, the Christianity came, we turn against these angels. They were there in our land. That is why in our land in those days, people cannot see you. There are some certain things you will not do.
Are you saying that Christianity is against our land? It's against our culture?
Christianity is against our land, our culture, my brother.
Okay, now I'm going to be. Now you have brought me to the point.
Asking this question.
You have brought me to the point where please, I would want you to be joining me on Sundays.
Hold on, I'm asking this question.
Yes.
And nobody has been able to answer me.
What's the
Before
question?
this Bible, Christianity was brought to our ancestors. Where our ancestors, did they not know God? What were their belief system? Before this Bible was brought to them, did they not know God? And what was their belief system?
Okay, can I ask you a question in that? Can I ask you a question in that line? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? That's the same question you asked. Where are our ancestors from?
Our ancestors.
Yes.
Our ancestors were created on this planet Earth. The first people to exist on this planet Earth. That is our ancestors.
Who are they?
We own this land. We own this world.
Who are they?
Our ancestors came from. They came from God.
Do you know their names?
And they were placed on this planet.
Every human being came from
God.
Do
I know their names?
Yes.
Do I know the name of our ancestors?
Yes.
What do you mean? Do I know the name of our ancestors? Do you have any information? I hope you're not telling me about Adam and the story of Adam and Eve.
No,
because
of course.
Are
you saying they are nameless? Huh? They have no information about them. You just know that there used to be an ancestor or their ancestors and they existed, and that's all. No information about them. What are the details you know about the ancestors?
This word has existed for millions of years, and our ancestors have been there. And listen, our ancestors have been there.
Who are the ancestors?
Okay.
Who are the ancestors? That's the question.
The ancestors, I cannot tell you who are the ancestors, but I know that our ancestors.
If you don't have information about
the ancestors, they are the ones that existed in this world first.
Who are they?
So,
who are they? What information do you have about them?
Asking me who are the ancestors? Do you know them?
We have information about who our ancestors are.
I don't know their names. You have information.
Okay, hold on.
So you have information that was. Wait, you have information that was given to you by a white man.
No, not a white man. No, not a white man. No, not a white man.
Is that what they're trying to say?
No, not a white man.
I don't know their. I honestly answered. I don't know their names. So you tell me who are their names.
Now let me tell you. By history, we descended from Jacob. Do you know that?
Oh, you're talking about Jacob and the distance.
Very well. That's where we descended from.
How did we are descended from Jacob? So are you telling me that before Jacob there were no other people, our ancestors?
Oh my God, you're getting it wrong here. The person who left. No. Oh, listen. Before Jacob there was Isaac. Before Isaac there was Abraham. Abraham came from the Chaldeans, from Ur. The Chaldeans have their ancestry from Nimrod, and not from Nimrod now, from the time of Noah, when the world was destroyed, when Noah's children started procreation and all of that. So we can link ourselves from that. There's this order of narrative from the scripture. Now you say we have a different ancestry from that. You don't have an order, but here is a constituted order that we know. So dispute it with facts. That's what I'm trying to say. Dispute yours with facts.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. There are books. So when you say that,
who wrote those books? Which books? Give me an instance of the book.
When you say you come from Jacob, who are you referring to? We as who?
We come talking about our ancestors from Jacob. We are from Eri. Eri is the fifth child also of Gad. Gad is one of the children, the seventh child of Jacob. And Eri is the one who left Egypt and came over to this place.
I've heard that story. I've heard that narrative.
So,
and I'm not arguing with you on that. But what I'm saying is this: if our people, there are a set of people that were living, the ancient people that were in that land, where we call Igbo today. There are people that were there.
Who said so?
There are migration that came.
Where did you get the information from? Where did you get the information?
Hold on. There are migration that came from that land they call Israel and Egypt today, that came to settle there. They came back home because when this life began, when our ancestors...
No, I'm trying to understand. Wait, let me understand you. Let me understand you.
All over the world.
Please, let me understand you. Are you talking about Biafra land today, or you are talking about the land of Israel today? Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about Biafra land.
Biafra land. You said there were people living there before Eri and Oko came in there.
Our ancestors, they came there from the land of Egypt and Israel.
So when they came,
left there, when they were they left there when they were facing persecution from beings that were not from this world.
No, where did you get that? Where did you get that narrative from?
That narrative, that's what I'm telling you, that the Bible is not. There are history that predict Bible.
Which history? Give us the histories that predict Bible. Bible has been existing.
There are tablets.
Yes.
Okay. There are history that predicts Bible.
No history. There's no history that predicts Bible. People use the narrative of the Bible to create their own publications. That's what I've been happening.
No. I'm talking about tablets that are being discovered today with inscriptions and everything. My brother, do your research.
We are talking about. Hold on. Let me explain this to you.
Yeah.
Let me explain this to you.
Wait.
Hold on. You have been talking. Hold on. Let me explain this to you.
And I was trying to tell you this thing real quick about how our ancestors. I was trying to answer your question how our ancestors came to be in Biafra land. So they left there and came and settled, came back home. That migration took place. And there are people that were existing today. That is why I've been saying that Igbo people, there are two different kinds of this thing, lineage there, but they came from one. The people that came back, which is us. Mazinam Dekano have talked about this. That is why when the slavery started, they were taking these same people that came from that land, that migrated back to Biafra land. That is the people they were targeted. Many of them are the African Americans that you see today. Some of them, a lot of them.
Wait, let me understand what you're saying. You said when they came for the slavery, they were targeting those who were in the land and not the Biafrans.
They were targeting those who came, the Biafrans, those who came from that land, Egypt and Israel, that came back. They know that there is something special about them.
By the records, our fathers didn't come from Israel. As at the time when they migrated, Eri left Egypt, the nation of Israel had not been established. They were still in Egypt before the suffering of the children of Egypt started. They left Egypt and they came down here.
That history has been distorted.
Who distorted it now? How do you know it's distorted? How do you know it's distorted?
The same people that brought you the Bible.
How do you know that what you have is the real truth, is the truth? Because what you have now does not have basis. The one I'm giving you has basis. So give me the basis of the one you're arguing.
Wait. The one you're giving me has basis.
Of course, there's a scriptural. If you look at the scripture, you can understand the procedure. You can understand the precepts. Okay. When you look at the Bible, you can understand the precepts and the procedure. Now, this one you are giving me, there's no precepts, there's no procedure.
Other history out there. So you
are still not getting it right. Hold on. Listen, let me explain this to you. The nation of Israel has its own history. Other nations of the world have their own history. Is that correct?
Yeah.
The nation of Israel is our source. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you saying that the nation of Israel... No.
He said the nation of Israel is what?
The nation of Israel...
He said the nation of Israel is what?
Has its own history. Right? Other nations have their own history, right? Their own histories, right?
History?
Yes.
Yeah, they have everywhere have their own history.
Okay. The nation of Israel is... Now, what did I say initially? Now you have made me forget. Now, the nation of Israel, based on its history, is connected to us. Am I correct?
The nation of Israel is connected
Are
to
we
us.
okay? Let me ask you this way: Are we part of Israel?
When you talk about Israel, before I answer you that question, who are this Israel, part of Israel that we are in? We are
the nation of Israel.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about these people that are there right now?
Who are the people
from Europe and settled in that land?
No, the people who were there who were scattered all over the nations of the world, which the Bible states to us that they will be restored, were restored, and they are there now. The people who are initially who were there, listen, hold on.
No.
The people who are there were the people who are the Palestinians that then were named Palestinians by the Europeans and all of that. They were named Palestinians. When the nation of the people, the Israelis came back, this is what is causing the problem we have till today, where there's a mixture between the Palestinians and the real Jews are saying, no, we don't want this world. And that is what is causing the problem. So the people you are talking about now are the Palestinians. The Palestinians are the ones who were in the land, who were put there by Britain and other people just to displace the Jews until the Jews decided to take back their land. It's as simple as that. Why are we making things complicated for ourselves?
So we are making things complicated. So you're saying this based on the history of what? Because if you look at, let me tell you something, my brother.
You know what? We're going to stop. We're going to stop this. We're going to stop this here because we're on live. You have taken over 20 minutes. So I would want us to talk about this more on Sunday. Just get what you're going to do is this. I'm going to begin this teaching, basically on eschatology and then making references to these historical facts from line of scripture, and then get me the line of your thoughts from the place, from that source that you have that is traceable.
Okay, but yeah,
in the line.
I know that you are giving me a lot of time, but let me just say this before I switch off.
Okay.
If you look at all over the world, if you go to Australia, there are Aboriginal people that are darker than you and I. These people, Britain took over that land. If you go to South America, the original owners of the people are the blacks who are running the show.
Do you know that? Let me ask you this question. Do you know that originally?
You go to Egypt.
Do you know that originally?
You go to Tunisia.
Let me ask you this.
Everywhere.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you know that originally the Igbos are not dark? They are not black.
The Igbos are not black.
Yes, originally. You know that one.
Why would you say that? No. Why would you say that? How did you get that?
Go and make your research. They are very fair colored. Very, very fair colored. It was the mixing, this mixed breeding and all of this stuff along the line, that begin to bring the black, stuff into our midst and all of that. That is why you see some of our people started intermarrying and marrying other people and all of that. We started having darker people, involved in this. The original people are not blacks.
My brother, I'm not. I don't want to take much of your time because there are other people there. Some people are, I saw some. One lady was saying on the comment section that I should kneel down and pray to Jesus to reveal himself to me if I said that Jesus is not real. And I'm like, if you sit down and pray to what they call Satan, devil, to reveal himself to you, he will do the same. Why are we being naive? Religion is what is holding us
But
down.
she didn't ask you to go and pray to Satan. She said you should pray to Jesus. She didn't say pray to Satan.
Okay? So if you kneel down and call for Satan to show himself to you, he's going to show himself to you.
But she's telling you not to call Satan. She's not telling you to call Satan. She's telling you to call Jesus.
This thing and how we correlate, this whole thing and how we correlate to Biafra is that we as the people, we have been held down. We are higher beings. We are powerful. We are gods walking among men. They have stripped off of this identity. We need to wake up and dump this religion that has held us captive. The evidence are there.
I think you are missing history.
They are prophesying, and they are talking about
Hold on.
If this Christianity is real, why do these pastors go to Babala, go to Juju or whatever to get power to do miracles?
How does Christianity relate? How does Christianity mean? How does Christianity mean religion? That's the question you should ask yourself. That's why I said I'm going to begin this teaching. There's a difference between Christianity. Hold on. There's a difference. There's a difference between Christianity, religion, and the true lifestyle or the history of the people. These are facts. So please let me take the next call. Anyways, you have taken time. Don't worry, on Sunday, let's talk more, my brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So let's take the next call. Yes, let's hear what this person has to say. Yes. Hello. You're welcome live and direct on the show. Please just make it brief. You know, this mighty dot have taken over 25 minutes. You know, please go on.
Hello.
Yes, go on, my brother. Go on.
Okay, Kelechi.
Yes, so this matter, you know,
Thank you
when
for
you bring this kind of matter, Thank
you for
Go on.
Thank you for the good work that you are doing.
It's my pleasure.
I was even laughing when you people are dragging this thing. I was laughing because I'm calling from Russia. Anyway,
all right. From
there's something that happened. There's something that happens here last time.
Okay.
One where I was sitting.
Okay.
Then one a lady and a white lady, Armenian lady or so. So she put this angel, angel that the calf,
yes.
the calf, all these small angel that have wing.
Yes.
And they be with wing white. So
yes.
she can't put them for my table. It's my co-worker. She can't tell me say, man, no let them fall for ground though. I say, what's in this? I said, what's in this? He said, an angel. I said, angel. I go ask and say, who told you that this is an angel? Look. How do you know that this is angel? I said, which angel, by the way? He said, angel of God. I said, were you born by then? How come you know that this is an angel? Look. Then another lady that is there, listen to what we are saying, because the second lady now is an Ama Jehovah lady. She's also a Christian. She can't tell me, say, man, ask her well. Man, ask the woman well. Whether she...
And
white woman also.
Are you the one that is supposed to... Are you the one that is supposed to take care of an angel from falling? Who is supposed to take care of each other between you and the angel?
No, she put them for table. You know, say this small thing where they carve now.
That's what if that thing is an angel. If that thing is an angel, then
this one where they take do fashion.
Yeah. If that thing is an angel, the thing should protect you, not you protecting it from falling.
So you can't say, man, no let them fall. I can't ask and say, how do you know? Who would do this thing? How do you know where you the angel? How do you know that this man the angel looks? So the other white woman now telling me that I should ask her very well. If they has born her, well, this is how they continue deceiving themselves. So everywhere was confused. Everywhere was confused. Both me, black man, where come from Biafra land, and them white people that bring Bible for us, everything was confused.
You know, when it comes to religious matters, there are always so many.
We are just looking at ourselves. So we can't look at ourselves and be laughing or something like that before the woman. So what I'm trying to say is this.
Yeah.
When Biafra come, we will go back to our ancestors. Because what I believe is this. This Nwachuku of a thing that our leader always say, that may be the name of our Bibles, our forefathers. Because then my father will born my father. And Nwachuku then the beer. We will grow again. My father again, Nwachuku. We will grow again, descendant Nwachuku. So you understand, and if you go to some of all these homes, you will see all these old names. So all this, they are Angel Michael and Gabriel, all this own. We don't believe in it. But when Biafra comes, we will talk those ones. We will go back to our history. So what I'm trying to say is that about this chairman of
World Igbo Congress.
The World Igbo Congress. Yes. All these people, I don't know them. I know they even hear themselves. Even this Ohaneze of people of a thing. I thought if they want to select Ohaneze, they will call some people, not to one group go gather, bring out one person. You go to be Ohaneze. These people, I don't know them, and they are not there for us. This WIC, they call them, this Joffo leading of a thing. We don't know them. All this one, what they do, then just they do them for their own. We don't know them, and they never help anybody. Our people are languishing in different prisons in the whole world. They don't play any part on it. Our people are languishing. They are killing our people every day. in Biafra land, they are cleaning our people since year one, if not be our leader, Mazin Nandi Kano, that bring this issue up. These people have never said anything. So now they should keep their mouth shut and hide their face in shame. Let's get our Biafra.
That's right.
Period.
That's right.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for calling. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah. Thank you so much for your contributions. I want to appreciate you guys. You know, at least that's going to be the last call so that we can, it's already late for us. So let me go through the messages. John Almeida, you know, just go and make a research on that, and so that you can get the facts about that. Adaza says I should tell Mighty Dot to contact her, and then you hear her testimony. I've heard her testimony, so you hear it also and know. There's something we talk about when we talk about experience. It has nothing to do with academic search and information. It has to do with experience, personal experience. That's why she said, ask Jesus to talk to you. She didn't say ask Satan, because if you ask Satan, Satan will talk to you too. So when you ask Jesus, when you ask the right, when you do the right seeking, you will find. She is a relevant person, John Almeida. Yes, he is very, very relevant. So, you know, this religious discussion is I wish I can have time. Maybe on Monday, on our Twitter space. I wanted us to talk this coming Monday. I wanted us to discuss on the things you think that will help us develop Biafra as it comes. But we're going to talk about that. Then upon Monday, we're going to look at religion. I want us to talk about this issue of religious. What do you believe? What do you think about the God of Biafra and the God of the world, the God of this world? Let's discuss the issue of religion, because we want to hear people's opinions so that we can have more time to talk, because on this platform, we might not have enough time to talk. But when we have such, we can have people to, you know, bring different people coming with their on that Twitter space. So join me Twitter space on Monday. Let's discuss on development of Biafra and the idea that you have that can help us develop Biafra. You know, we're going to be discussing that on Monday on Twitter space, 10 a.m. Biafra time. You join me on Kelechi Ambrose. Just to check Kelechi Ambrose and let me follow you. Follow me, then I follow you back, and then we meet there on Monday to just check Twitter space. Now, just check Twitter now. And if you don't have Twitter, go to Twitter, because Twitter is a very potent weapon for this issue of social media warfare. And so we need to discuss there, and just check Kelechi Ambrose. Follow me, and then I know it's you, and then I follow you too, and then we move on. So let's do it on Twitter space. Chidi is operating under the spirit of jealousy, and he's not fighting for the freedom of Biafra. Of course, we know Chidi is just there for his own selfish ends. Mazi, the people map of the first map of Biafra people area is boldly written Desert of Seth. Later, it was changed to Kingdom of Judah, and then changed to Bight of Biafra. Please explain more on that. But somebody wrote those things now. Those maps, somebody drew them, right? Messing while people drew those maps. You understand? So, but we understand where Judah, real Judah, is by the world map, and of course, by confirmed by every nation of the world. We know the area, even by biblical description of where Judah is. We know it is around that Asia corner where you see that location of border to Egypt. If you check how the children of Israel left, and when they left Egypt and how they moved, they were able to go to Egypt, into the land of Canaan, originally Canaan, into Israel easily, but God took them through other ways around the waters and Red Sea. They crossed the Red Sea. So we have no Red Sea on Biafra land. That alone should tell us that some of these maps are designed to suit some kind of narrative so people have created, and to try to deceive people along the line. So leave all those maps. Just follow. That's why you have to have a focus on this issue. That's why Mighty Dot, I want him to come from the point of his focus, but because he's jumbled by so many information that he cannot put them together. So I want him to put them together on Sunday. We meet, and then, but I am bringing mine from a central point, which can be traced to the complete notion of history, and which one can explain from a central point. And that's the scripture, the Bible. But he says the Bible is corrupted. The Bible is not real. And I'll prove that the Bible is real, because the Bible was written by different people, not one person. Not one person jumbling information that you can just argue about. The Bible is talked about different people who lived hundreds and hundreds of years apart. So that makes it unique. It is not about and interestingly, there is connection. It's a synergic connection, amongst these people who lived hundreds of years apart. That's why the Bible is unique. So scripture is inspired, and it's not just any kind of book that you just want to compare with any other book. That's it. If you have got the experience of scripture, you will know what we're talking about. So, and therefore, Britain is not a Christian country. Katia Mwaweze is asking, Britain claims to be a Christian country, but the Christianity of Britain is a religious Christianity, not the Christianity that Christ preached. Remember, I told you that when the Roman Empire came, they saw an opportunity of converting Christianity to a religious precept, fusing it with the doctrines of the Babylonian cults worship style and the Roman style of worship that is traced to the Babylonian cult. So Christianity was now corrupted in that regard, and that now became the narrative of their own religious Christianity. So Britain practices religious Christianity, and that is why they tolerate anything, including homosexuality and all of that, because in religion, you tolerate what will make the people feel good so that you will continue to keep the people under your subjugation. Religion makes you feel good. They keep you under a particular control and allow you to do anything that you feel like doing and to satisfy yourself, even when it is evil, so that they can keep you under their control. That is what happens. And Nolan says they will soon wed dogs and cats. Very soon. In fact, very soon they'll start wedding man and animal. Maybe they are doing so. I don't know whether they are doing so now, because I know people have dogs say they are, they say publicly, and nobody says anything about it. It's their right. Yeah, it's there. It's there. I think it's there. Yes, it's right. It's there. It's there. It's right there. It's right there. Very terrible and evil actions. Me and my families are from Namdi, Kano, Oku, Kano, and Mazi Samanekwa. We move. We are four. Okay, four. Victor. Mena. Okay, Mena. Oh, sorry. Don't mind me. I was looking at it like a Togo name. Don't mind me, oh, please. Victor. So yes, you're for Mazen, Namikano, and Simon, and that is what we are all for. Diana says there is a mistake that our people are making about the British saying that they are Christian faith. It's a lie. It's their old people that you can see in the church on Sunday morning here in UK. And all these institutions called churches are actually doesn't mean that they are Christian nations. For the fact they build those institutions, they are built under their own religious programming designed as patterned in the form of Christianity. Remember, I told us initially that Christianity is about the lifestyle of Christ. That was why the apostles were called Christians in Antioch. They were not Christians because Britain composed Christianity. No, they were called Christians because they behaved like Christ. So they gave them that name as nickname as Christians. Then the Roman Empire now converted that name for religious purposes. That is why you have their Anglican Church, Roman Catholic Church, and all of this stuff for religious purposes. Aliens are demons. Aliens are demons. Yes, we have different demons. Now remember, that's why I told them Mighty Dot to calm down. These things are taken step by step. We're going to take this thing step by step. There are so many aliens in different planets, so many demons. They are living in different. Even the Bible records it. That's why I'm surprised that Mighty Dot, you were saying that. And the science and all this stuff and all of this stuff, they have discovered so many aliens. When the scripture has already talked about them a long time ago, read scripture. Don't just read books of other people. Read the Bible. You discover that these aliens you're talking about are mentioned in scripture. The planets have different beings in them. The earth also was under the power of Lucifer initially, with some other angelic beings controlling the earth before it was destroyed and submerged because of the curse. When Lucifer said, I'm going to ascend on high, I'm going to do this, I'm going to take the place of the Prince of Peace, I'm going to take over the throne of the Most High. And then he was defeated. Michael and co fought him, and he was cast down again because he ascended up from the earth that was given to him for control. He ascended and he was cast down, and then the Bible says that so say woe to the earth. And that was what happened in Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. The earth became submerged with water, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the deep. And then there was a recreation or remaking or making, recreating. That means the sun that was already there, the planets already there that were already there, were now told, let there be light. The sun now gave light to the earth. Now the waters begin to dry up and everything, and the waters God begin to shake, everything, and then the dry ground came. He caused the seas to be at a part. And all of these were not, that is not the beginning of creation. This happened about 6,000 plus years ago. The earth has been existing for millions of years before Lucifer's rebellion that brought judgment. So these are facts that even science itself marvel at some of these facts, and science itself can find the rooting in these facts, and science miss out in the facts also. Blessing Chigu. We're going to talk about these things one after the other. You know, Mighty Dot was saying, you were just saying so many things that I didn't know where to start answering you because you were making so much points. So we're going to take them one after the other. And as we go in the teaching, you bring part of your question in line with the teaching, and then I answer it at that point. And then we begin to take it on and on and on. And we resolve these things amicably. It has to be amicable. Amicable. It has to be in an amicable order, you know, because our intention is to learn, you know, so we learn from one another. And then we know the facts of what we have in mind. And then we get ourselves to trace a particular point of understanding. Katia says, Caller, read the Bible well and get a good teacher. We're going to, that's why on Sunday we have the Back to Base program here. We're going to learn so many things, you know, so that he will understand, you know, because this issue of believing in science and believing in all this stuff and some books that some people just wrote somewhere, and then those ones just go and jumble some information about some stuff. Whereas the Bible contains books of different people who lived 100 years apart, not even one person. You know, what's this caller talking about? Okay, there's somebody, Evans Ike is talking about responding to mighty dots. The Bible talks about it. Eliezer Thomas, you know, okay, referring to the beings. Okay, the Bible talks about aliens. Yeah, the Bible talked about them. The Bible mentioned them several times. The book of Psalms, the book of different parts of the scripture, even the book of Daniel, different parts of the scripture. Revelation, everywhere you see the Bible talking about these aliens and these foreign beings living in different parts of different planets. We have over 40 sextillion stars. 60 sextillion. That means billion into the seventh or so into the, so that is it. Stars, and each of these stars have their planets around them. So you number how many planets we have. If we have over 40 sextillion planets, stars, which are suns to other planets, then you can calculate. Let's just imagine that these our planets have 9. This our sun. This sun we have now have 9 planets around it. Then we have 40 sextillion suns that have planets around them. That means you can say 40 sextillion times 7 or times 9. You can imagine 9 being around each. I'm just assuming it's 9 around each. You'll come to understand how vast nature is. Then you come to understand naturally that there are other beings in those places, which our own world acknowledges. The scripture acknowledges it. So whatever you say you are seeing in this world, check the scripture, you'll find them. I'm in line with Mighty Dot, John Almeida. Yes, of course you have to be in line. I know you want to be in line because you are just looking for something that discredits Britain. And as long as anything that discredits the Bible, based on the fact that Britain has taken the Bible to be its book of manipulation, you know, you want to discredit. So good, but we will answer all of those questions as time goes on. Royal Winner says, Caller, you are not totally wrong, but in California, the women you are referred to are native Indians, not Amazonian women. That's you know, he was making references to so many things and talking about Amazonia. You know, I was asking, where are your facts about these things? And you see, not just coming to talk about some stuff. Tell us your reference point, how they became Amazonian women, how did they come about? All these facts are very, very important. Where were those women when, you know, and how are they, you know, how are they referred to Amazonian women? What's proof? These are the things we're going to ask and we're going to talk about. Katia Mwabuzi said there are extraterrestrial beings and there are celestial beings. Of course, we have, these are in categories anyways. Christianity is not against our culture, but we need to be selective in some doctrines. John Almeida, good. And Mercy Walla says, it is only the Biafrans that have Omenala, no other country. We already know and live by the law of Elohim. And you know, I didn't want to speak so much because Mighty Dot had so many things that he was saying at the same time that if I'm going to answer, it's going to take a long time. I wanted to talk about the issue of you know, the laws of Igbos and the laws of the Hebrews or the Jews and we measure all of these things to know the similarities and know where we're coming from in all of this, you know. But we don't have time. We're going to talk about those things later. This call Igbo. Blessing Chuku said, this call Igbo, okay? And Merton Waller said, I hate arguments without a concrete fact. The speaker should go and do more research. Please get your facts and then come and tell us from so place you got this information and all of that. Then we'll now trace where the information is coming from and know how to handle the information. That's why I was asking for your proofs and facts. So Mighty Dot, please do that. Caller has an open mind and listen to Kelechi. Of course, he has an open mind, and I like that. You know, that's why I said let him get his facts too. I'm open. I'm also listening to him so that we can look at it constructively. Look at my point. We look at your point. Then we see the superior point now takes preeminence. You know, those angels he's referring to are demonic spirits. You know, James Ibe. Yes, correct. We have demonic spirits all over, and also we have real spirits. The spirits, the true and the true or the right angels. We have the bad angels. We have the good angels. All of them spread all over. They are the ones who fought with Lucifer and his agents and all of that. On those ones coming from the earth region. And Mazin, dismiss that man. He sounds Yoruba. That's the one like you're funny. He says he sounds Yoruba. He's our brother. He's our brother. He's a king. I like his way. You know, he listens. And he makes his point. You know, and then we talk. Not some other people who come and tell us, no, you are saying rubbish. What are you saying? Rubbish. And he did blah, blah, blah. And then they log out, they get angry and walk out. But he's here, he's listening and bringing out his facts, you know. And so we rub minds with him also so that we can also learn, you know, and then we do what we have to do together. In Igbo land, we worship demonic spirits. It tells that men to kill twins. We have so many demonic, corruption that happened along the line of our worship, just like what happened to the Jews when they were in Egypt, when they were left Egypt in the wilderness, when Moses left them to get the commands. They began to worship different kinds of images because of their experiences and their connection to other, nations and all of that. So these are the facts, you know. So it doesn't mean that all the worship that was done in Igbo land then was true. Some of them are demonic. You mean that the whole demon sat by and worshiping only Okike, Chukwu Okike, and sat by without doing anything? It's only when Christianity came now that the demons now became active. No, that's not true. Our leader MK said it's also blessing Chukwu. Yes, you're correct. Evans Ike says this color is a controversial. Oh my God, it's good anyways. Elizabeth Thomas says the man no go green for you, brother Kelechi Ambrose. I know fit laugh. This man not comedian. Oh my God, Kola, listen to learn. You're all over the place. Real winner. Real winner say listen to learn. I believe he I believe he listens. So he's just trying to pour out because this is his calling. So he wants to say everything that he actually has in mind. So we're going to take them one after the other, and we're going to handle them one after the other. Neolin, I don't say Brackley, this man is a waste of time. No, he's not. Please, just calm down, Neolin. You know, we need to listen to people too. And you know that I like listening to people so that I can get an information from what they're saying, which will help me also know how to say what I have to say in the best way of explaining them. Because when you any knowledge that you acquire at a particular time helps you now to hold on to a narrative, especially when you're able to process the information rightly on the path of truth. Caller, listen. Real winner says. So this caller is all over the place with his half analysis of what where we come from. That's why I've told him. I said he should go and get information so that we can rub minds. So let him get information and then tell us where. Then we can understand his source of argument, and then we can take it up from there. So we'll all be here on Sunday. We want to have that fact. 4 p.m. Biafra time, we're going to be here and we're going to look at it together. So please, Mighty Dot, come with those places, those information from where you got them from, and then we can take them one after the other and handle them. Even Mazik Nambikanu said the same thing. Why is this man arguing over this? Because he actually read some books that gave him some other information. So let's see the information he's going to bring. Scotland's autopiloted. This guy lives in USA and still talks about white man gave us Bible. The question is, what do you have today that isn't from the white? Oh my God! Oh Lord have mercy. Elisa Thomas says it was when we started intermarriage that's why we began to have darker people amongst us. Yes. you know, we were not dark. You know, we were not dark as we are. We started marrying and having different relationships, and then we began to get darker. The Project Breakthrough says we are not the children of Ham, we are rather the children of Shem. Oh, Lord have mercy. And Royal Winners Scholar, you're wrong. The landowner of America are not Igbos. But he says it's Igbos. That's why I said let him bring his facts. You know, let him bring his facts. This scholar is making us look like a fool. Like, but it's like, no, we have to listen. We have to listen. Please, let's always listen. You know, let's listen to people and listen to analysis so that we can know how to defend the truth at all times. Let you teach this scholar from some Bible. Katia Mwabweze. Yeah, we'll do. That's why you see, because of time, the time was already fast spent. That's why I told him if I begin to answer, we're going to have a long time here. So on Sunday, we're going to start from the scratch of the time, and then we're going to talk more on these things. You know, Elias Thomas says, "Why live?" Oh my God, this is interesting today. Oh Lord have mercy. Caller, listen to Kelechi so that other callers call in too. Oh my God, Evans, is it today that you have been looking like? Oh my God, Mighty Dot, you're already getting angry. You don't need to get angry. You should understand that you are bringing something that is different from what people believe. So you have to be patient enough to listen, and then where you are wrong, you'll be corrected. You can take it. Where you're right, the people will take it also, and you go on with that. But why people from Israel, Jacob, never claim they have been anything related to Black Africa, as you claim? John Almeida is asking. Okay, I don't know how many of them you have met that don't claim that. Anyways, we move Biafrans. Clement Aneto. We move. Honestly, Britain has caused many kinds of problems for us because of how they have corrupted the whole thing. Yes, I agree with last call on Nwachukwu and Chukuma. We need to dig more, do more research, John Almeida. Okay, of course we need to do that. Mercy John Almeida, check the history. Torah has been brought to our land, Biafra, and that's it. Torah have been in our land even from the time before, even before the Bible was formally brought as King James to us. Torah has been on our land. This is what I was trying. These are things I want to explain, but we'll talk about the wicked Igbo Congress. Oh my God, Mazikreshi Ndewo. Jerry, thank you so much. Ndewo to you, Kenechukwu. Jerry, thank you. Messinwala, Mazikreshi, thanks for today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you also, Messinwala. Thank you. Eleza says Biafra will not be part of ECOWAS. ECOWAS is filled with Fulani jihadists, Janjaweed all over West Africa. What are we doing with ECOWAS? We don't need ECOWAS now. ECOWAS is just a Fulani program. Eleza Thomas, Biafra will never and will not be part of ECOWAS because ECOWAS is filled with Fulani jihadists. And that's what they are. You know, today none of them is saying anything. You know, I'm going to round up soon. Good evening, Mazikechi. Agnes Taylor, thank you so much. Good evening to you too. We have Ndewo Mazikechi. We have Maureen Channels TV. We have Good Evening Biafrans. Maureen's Channel TV. Thank you so much. Good to have you. Gerard Agonia. Sorry. I'm looking at Yoruba accent in my mouth. Agonia. Thank you so much. The Bible is God's own story, Israel. God's own son named from the Creator. These are facts in Scripture. Anyway, so is Lucifer not still in control of this new earth? Yes, the spirit of Lucifer, and Lucifer has gained control when man sold his authority to Lucifer, which Jesus would come and take over in the second coming. You saw it is clearly written in the Bible that Lucifer is in control now, because Lucifer actually a call is coming. I don't know whether I will pick this call. Mighty Dot is our own. Okay, let me pick the call and see. Time is just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. You're welcome. You're welcome live on the program. Please, you have 2 minutes. Just make your contributions because of time. Please, quickly. Go on, please.
Okay.
Yes, please. You're live.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
All right, and thank you so much for the program that you've been anchoring all this while. There are two major points that I want to make, okay. And One of them is regarding the different unions and groups we have in Igbo land.
Okay.
There are two major things that I observed from all these people. I don't want to talk about the groups, but I want to talk about the individual. Always like to come together,
I like that. I like that.
to form a union where they can be able to, execute their evils. There is something they normally do. They are honest liars. They always present themselves as honest people. And of course, when a liar said to you that he's a liar, he's being honest, isn't it?
Well, yeah, correct.
Yeah, So what they normally do is that if you have followed them for a very long time, and I watch them very, very well, they always tell you that the hello?
Yes, go on. We can hear you.
Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So they always tell you that when you ask them a question, the first thing they will tell you is that yes, that they are working on it, and there is a program that is coming up. There is something that so everything about them is unfinished product. If you look around the whole of Igbo land, you cannot tell one thing, all these groups, have executed,
very well,
or made it possible within the Igbo land. Nothing,
very well,
absolutely nothing. But whenever you meet them online or ask them questions, they will always tell you that they are working on something, and very soon you will see that particular thing that they're working on. And another thing they normally do is when you ask them a question, if they don't answer, they say they're taking your point. They're going to work on it. But they are not working on anything. What they do is normally they take it, the information you give to them, to analyze it. If it doesn't work in their favor, because obviously all of them work for themselves, they will just trash it and put it aside. So this is two things that I've noticed about them. They present themselves as honest people, but they are not honest. They are just deceivers, bunch of deceivers. Anyway, let me leave you and let other people
That's
talk
right.
as well.
Thank you so much for that. Those 2 points are very, very correct, and that's the truth. And of course, we all know that's why we cannot endorse them, and we cannot do anything with them. They are just, as you call them, wicked. What was that? How did you call them again? You said wicked Igbo conspirators, right?
Yeah.
Wicked Igbo conspirators. That's what you call them, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Igbo
Conspirators. That's who they are.
Yeah, and that's what they are. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your day. I appreciate you really, really very well.
The same here.
Yes, thank you so much for calling in. Yeah. So he's here. It's wicked Igbo conspirators. That's what they are. Mighty Dot is our own full supporter of Autopilot and Mazes. Of course, yes, Mighty Dot is our own. Yes, very, very well. But we, when we come to some issues that we disagree on, we have to argue these things out. I heard it from our leader, Mazinunka, that was the first people living in our land called Ndimbo. That is the ancient people. Yes, of course, definitely there were some people who were there before they came in, and then they overtook, and all of them. Mr. Chibog, we move. This Chibog sounds like a China design. I don't think Mighty Dot will have a source because we haven't done any deep research of our own. Oh, John, I don't know where you stand. This you don't think you will have a source because you have not done a deep research. You have not done, or me, or who? I don't understand. Because he cannot be. He cannot. Are you saying he has not? He doesn't have a source because we have not done research, or he has not done research, or you and him have not done research for you to have your own. Thank you for bringing Prince Ezem Iheanacho to us, Mr. Chibok. All right, Chibok, it's my pleasure, Chibok. Good to have you. I don't know this name. Is it that you changed your name, or is the name you have been using all this while, or you just sent a message for the first time? Because I know you must have been here for several times. That's why you're talking about Mr. Prince. Prince Ezem Iheanacho. You know, our people should realize that we are not Gentiles as we have been taught. Yes, project breakthrough package. Yeah, we have been taught that we're Gentiles, but we're not. That's what they are, real winners. Right. I appreciate you guys for being part of this, and in fact, it's been very interesting today. In fact, we have taken 3 hours. Oh my, I not believe we were going to go 3 hours today, but we thank Chukwu Okike for the opportunity. Elohim, because we are not only Igbo speakers here, we have other tribes, so we use Elohim as our general and word for God. And that is it. Thank you so much, all. Tomorrow, I'm going to continue on this narrative, and I'm going to be opening you up to some basic facts, especially talking about the conspiracy, and then the facts of how the next few weeks will be from February. It's going to be something else. It's going to be something else from February. We promised Nigeria and Nigerians that they will be shocked, and the world and the supporters of Nigeria will be shocked at what is going to happen. It's going to be something else. So definitely we're watching, we're doing what you're going to do, and of course we'll get there. Thanks to Chukwu Okike Abiyama. Thank you so much, Eliezer Thomas. Thank you for your contributions, your analysis, and all of that projects, breakthrough package for the life, health, and wellness. For your life, wealth, and wellness. Says, it's been a pleasure. God bless you. Real good. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Real pleasure. Project Breakthrough. Thank you. Abasimbong. Thank you so much, Eliezer Thomas, for reminding me that one. Abasimbong. Thank you so much. We have so many languages, so that's why I have to use Elohim as our central language for this. You know, Elohim, Abasimbong. We have Chukwu Okike. We have Obong. You know, okay, that's the same thing. Then we have all this Ijo and all those stuff. Forgotten their own. These things have escaped my mind. So, anyways, we thank God for the opportunity. I appreciate you guys. It's already 3 hours, so let's end here. Tomorrow I see you again. Keep fit and wait for instructions. And today, Mazi Simon Epa will be given the State of the Nation podcast also, and then we will get more information. Thanks to Owolicho Ada. Owolicho Ada. Owolicho Ada. Oh my God. So please, let's get ready for the broadcast of Mazi Simon Epa today. And then this is already past 7 in Biafra land. So thanks, Mazi, for today's lecture and teachings. God bless you. So thank you so much, Royal Winners. Thank you. It's my pleasure. I appreciate you guys. And I thank you guys for being part of it and always being here, of course. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I would like to talk with you privately. So, all right, Eliezer Thomas, no problems. Just call that WhatsApp number and we talk. And that will be tomorrow anyways, because there are some of the activities I have tonight, based on Biafra programs. So I think for us to talk. So just call tomorrow, maybe in the morning or so. Since you're in Ghana, I think your time should be, in the morning. Let's talk in the morning. Maybe from 11 a.m. can talk. 11 a.m. time. So we'll talk. So thank you all. I appreciate you. It's been a wonderful time with you guys. And of course, the talks get interesting as the days go by. We're going to look at the arsenal of the conspiracy and our readiness to defeat every one of them. From tomorrow, it's going to be wonderful. Join me tomorrow, 4 p.m. Biafra time, Oduduwa time. And I want to thank my Oduduwa brothers and every nation in the contraption that is ready to leave and to destroy Nigeria. Tomorrow is okay for me. So, all right. Thank you so much. No problem. Tomorrow we'll talk. And thank you, Brother Kilichi. And please bear with the trouble. No. It's part of it. Why am I here? It's for that's the purpose for me to be here. And let's look at. I like it when I receive some information from every other side that will make you think well, and that will make one process information better and get more facts out there. So, you know, there's so many things I've read, and there's so many things that somebody else have read that they want to bring across, and there's so many things I've read to bring across, and then we look at the facts, and then we hold on to the, you know, the superior mandate that is on. So it's not about me. I'm not it's a if the total custodian of knowledge. Knowledge is spread all over the human sphere of existence. So God helps us to actually get this information. We learn from one another, and we'll learn the right things, and we agree on the right things. So thank you so much, all. I appreciate you. May Chukwu Okike, may Elohim, may Obong, Basimbong, you know, and however it's called in all languages under Biafra territory, I say, God bless you real good.